Good, good.
So, who would like to inform our viewers and the forgetful DM where we're at, what's going on, what's happening?
I know Bettany got fucked
Yeah, she did.
in a not
Um,
good way.
Yeah. Well, Bettany's friend did. So the battle ended with the undead in Grimgolier, and the party went through the loot, which was extensive, and the battle was pretty intense. The griffins were involved, and one of them died, but was revivified. The team went to meet with the Underbaron and Phineas in the throne room, and we also found out that Arcane Bob lost a leg. So we got all of our loot, we identified it, and then the next day, Wabu in Sulameen received griffins from Sakura, who came from the mansion. Arcane Bob regrew his leg due to a ring of regeneration. We got a bunch of materials from him, and we helped clean up the city. And then during dinner, Ash and Bettany came flying in because their friend, the soup vendor, has been crushed to death, and they have his arm. And that's where we ended. Wabu was going to attempt a reincarnation spell. That was mentioned.
Yes, the next day he just has to prep it. Correct. Okay. That was some good note taken. Hell yeah. So, I believe the exact moment we left off is she was thanking you, and she begins to head out, leaving the arm sitting upon the dinner table. And Ash goes with her, just since Ash is not going to be here since she is out of country. So they just kind of the Underbaron kind of just keeps staring at the arm, and he seems to be thinking something over. Said, "Are you going to be here in 3 days' time?" Looking at all of you.
Depends what happens in 3 days' time.
I wish to hold a funeral, but instead of doing it tomorrow, we're going to do it in 3 days' time. We need time to prepare.
Richter says 3 days is a while. We were planning on getting out of here. Richter's just annoyed that he's still in Grimgolier, but he did agree to do the funeral, so he's just looking at the party.
We have not had this loss on such a grand scale in, I think, since the founding of Grimgolier. Sorry, since the founding of Grimgolier. I always forget voices, man. He says, I want to make this one very special. Show the people that we are not done. That we will bring about justice for all they've lost. I want to throw a grand ceremony. Celebration. Give them the morale they need these times. But what I have in mind will take a few days to set up and procure.
Yeah, I bet it would help with some healing. The city's been through a lot. I can hang around. When we leave, we'll be leaving after the funeral, but we can help prepare as well.
He looks at the group of you, and he begins to think. The best thing you can do is to continue helping with, you know, fixing up the city as best you can, helping the injured. Maybe just be seen. The funeral arrangements, I'd be feeling that it's not much that you can be doing in that area. But being there for the funeral, possibly the celebration afterwards, and then flying out could help.
So, question, sir. Is there any progress as to the possibility of resurrecting, revivifying, or bringing back to life Dwalia for questioning?
He's like, I'll have to talk to a high-level cleric, but, wait, wabu! Wow, I suddenly went completely other side of the world accent there. Wabu! You say you got some resurrection abilities, no?
Yes. Yes, I do. I guess, I suppose, I could try.
Something I am unaware of. You may know the answer. If a spirit be unwilling to enter the body, is there a way to be forcing it?
No, they have to want to come back. That might be an issue.
Oh. So, if you were to possibly resurrect Dwalia, is there... and her soul decides she does not want to come back, nothing you can do? That's correct?
Yes. I mean, we would kind of just be out of luck, and he just like raises his hands and kind of shrugs a little bit.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Pheonix is like putting his kid down, so he can hear us and he can talk and chat, but he can't actually answer at the particular moment. So I'm gonna assume that Pheonix is suggesting that out loud. Speak with dead. So, Wabu, I don't speak with dead is your spell list, is it? No, it's a cleric and paladin thing, right?
Yeah. That's outside of my range.
So,
And also, we wouldn't be able to compel her to testify or give up information if we were using Speak with the Dead.
I've never tried to speak with the dead before, but I could try. It is a wizard spell, as well, but Richter does not know it.
Bob might have a scroll.
I have some wizards that probably be knowing it. I'll tell you what. I'll have one of them come see you in the morning. I'll give you a scroll. See if maybe you can get something out of her. But with this, dinner is pretty much finished. So, he's going to stand up. Well, I do be having a lot to do. Possibly some monuments trays. Getting things set up for the mass funeral. I trust you all to be able to, you know, feel free to do what you want. I bid you all good night.
And a good evening to you as well, sir.
I bid him good evening and continue eating.
With that, him and a couple guards leave. There are still 4 guards posted around this large hall. But it's just, you know, their duty. So, with that, what would you all like to do? I'm gonna say it's probably about 7-ish, 8-ish, somewhere in there.
So
Just
I'm
double checking if I need any components for reincarnate. 'Cause
I
might
believe
need
you
that
said you
extra.
had one. You had one set. Of
I
them.
have one of everything, but if I'm gonna use one, I'll probably want to grab. I always want to have like one in the pocket, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would, if possible, I'd like to see if I can get the rare oils and unguents worth at least 1,000 GP. As just another copy, just so I have one on me after I use that tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can easily get over to Arcane Bob's if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, just to snag that and leave. That's all.
As usual, he's sleeping in his chair. You wake him up, do your business.
Sweet.
He does give you what he has. He does warn, however, that he is running extremely low on things like diamonds, anything that would be mined in Grimgalier due to the collapse of multiple of the mines and the fires in the area. That means that there's not going to be much in the way of mining for quite some time.
Of course. I just need the oils for now. Hopefully that's not too much trouble.
Yeah, he's got them. In fact, he gives them to you for free. Part of the war effort.
Well, Wabu very excitedly shakes his hand and thanks him, and then he takes his way, not wanting to take up too much of Arcane Bob's time, knowing he's probably pretty tired right now. Everybody in the city is probably pretty tired.
Have we had a long rest since the attack was over?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, excuse me. Pheonix is gonna spend some time after dinner out in the city, helping out, cleaning up, inspiring, people to buck up and help.
Yeah, for sure. I believe that's what we actually had you doing during the first down day as well. I think you were with a couple other people, went out helping, lifting rubble and kind of feeding the troops. A couple of Sulameen and Wabu's followers, Aliana and Waka. Is that it?
Baka.
Waka Waka?
Yeah, they were kind of like helping and feeding. I mean, Taliana's a bard, so she's more just like inspiring people who are lifting heavy shit and whatnot. But yeah, several of you guys had gone out and like been helping dig people out of rubble, helping rebuild some areas, refortifying some of the these big ass support columns that had taken hits during the battle. But yeah, if you want to do that after dinner, by all means.
How much food? Sorry.
You can easily find a place that people are still working, because I mean it was a citywide battle, right? Shit is kind of everywhere.
How much food is left on the table?
Well, I'm gonna say Ash kind of just like grabbed a handful of ham or something on her way out. So I'm gonna say there's a pretty hefty amount of ham. There's probably some like chickens left. Maybe a big turkey. like half of a fucking fire roasted pig.
Richter's gonna cast Tensor's floating disc and suggest that maybe we load up the food on that and just kind of take it out with us and feed some of the workers. And I do the same with Pheonix, just to try to spend the rest of the night before going to bed helping clean up, as I imagine it's a 24-hour effort.
Yeah, I plan on looking for a group that looks like wiped out, like they're working slow, they're dragging ass, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna go in and be like, hey, it's me. Work hard for me, you know?
Oh, I mean, that's a horrible way to put it, but I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are, so you're casting Tensor's floating disc and, like, grabbing some food up and shit.
Yeah, and then I'm going to cast Big B's hand as well as Mage hand, grab as much food as I can, just, like, hand it out and look really as cool as we can as we do it to try to, again, make people see us and be like, oh, damn, that's cool, we've handed out food.
All right,
Give us their money.
Oh, my God.
And I'm probably going to head back to the battlefield where we found Diwali and try and hunt up some clues or some way to learn more about how we can track her and the organization down.
So I thought you were gonna say her. I was like, I'm pretty sure she's easy
We
to
found her.
track down. She's in the morgue.
Ollie Ollie Oxenfree.
Yeah, okay.
She's
So,
chilling.
Oh,
wow. That was actually kind of good. Let's see. That was down there. You guys had got... Okay, so the only way you're going to be able to do that, Sulameen, is by going back down through the tunnels. The area you guys found her is down here. The only access to that is technically through these gates, which you cannot get into the south as all the gates are shut tight due to the burning.
Griffin?
Right. Yeah, okay, sure. Alright, so you're going
The
to take...
tunnels collapsed, right?
I mean, oh yeah, that's right, because it came up into this. Yes. Yeah, yeah, Griffin. I forgot for some reason that you had flying mounts. Yeah, you can take your Griffin, alright. So, Julian is over here. Pheonix and Richter. Is anybody going with Pheonix and Richter? Or going with Sulameen or Wabu? I guess that just leaves you Spoonbreaker, sorry. Are you going with Spoonbreaker, or are you doing your own thing?
Wait, what's Wabu doing?
Wabu went to go to Arcane Bob's.
Yeah, I'll go to fucking Arcane Bob's. Let's go.
Alright. So we'll start with Wabu and Spoonbreaker then. Wabu, you complete your purchase. But he looks at you, Spoonbreaker. Is there anything you need?
Yeah, my bounty.
Bounty?
Yeah, I paid Arcane Bob 10,000 gold.
What was that for?
He was looking for the... Hold on.
Wasn't it that flail?
Yes, the flail.
And that was just that same day you went there, right?
No, it was the other day.
Okay, so it's only been one day. You're looking for a
Yeah.
legendary.
I'm checking in on my investment.
No word as of yet, but I'll send word if I find it.
Okay, Arcane Bob. Okay.
Yeah, Arcane Bob has been quite busy. I mean, he might be in here at the moment sleeping, but he's been helping about the city, still trying to heal up his. I mean, most of his contacts are fucking dead because almost the entire world has been taken over by this undead army. So, like, it's not going to be an easy task for him to actually find this item. It is going to take time. It's likely he's not gonna be found until after you're out of the city. but he will find a way to get you word. And Arcane Bob does have multiple locations. You know, like this small tent you walk into looks like, you know, a fucking 400 square room, 2 levels. So, you know, any entrance he has leads to the entrance to his place.
The trick is to look him dead in the face and ask him if he knows who you are. That's how important people get things.
I see. I see. I'm going to stare at Arcane Bob menacingly.
Are you sure about this?
Oh God.
I'll fucking roll for it, dude.
Sure.
Well,
You
roll
want
to see
you
if
want
it's
to
a good
roll an
idea.
intimidation on Arcane fucking Bob? Go ahead, roll me an intimidation.
Or maybe roll an intelligence to see if it's smart.
Oh God. Why do you have to do that while I'm with you? Okay, you couldn't have done that on your own.
Hey, you were here and you witnessed.
Nice.
Yeah, 24 is nice.
Except for it's Arcane Bob.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna kill you with his
It's
baby
fucking
finger.
24, dude.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing about skill checks is, you know, the better you roll doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. It's going to have the best possible outcome. For instance, here's what he's going to do. He looks you dead in the eye as you stare at him menacingly. And he leans forward and goes, I don't think you understand who you're dealing with, Spoonbreaker. And he stands up, pushing himself up on the desk. You may be a Stormforged, but I am more than 1,000 years old. You ever seen a human who has lived to be over 1,000 years old? As he says this, the room darkens and the air crackles with energy. Small, almost like electrical storm forms around the room. However, this isn't just lightning. You're seeing flashes of purple, green, black, white, red, yellow, orange.
Sounds like an upcast thaumaturgy spell. Go for it, dude.
And he says, I think our business is concluded. Reaches out, he pulls out your 10,000 gold in one large sack, throws it at your feet. Pick it up and get the fuck out of my home.
Alright.
Do you have a
Fair.
backup character?
Yeah.
If you got a backup character, feel free to send it.
As you seem to be thinking, he looks at Wabu and says, he's more calm with you, and he says, I assume you do not share his attitude. Wabu?
Wabu doesn't he's too simple for this whole conversation. So he's like, "Wow, Bob, you're 1,000 years old. You look pretty spry for 1,000 years old. What's your workout routine like? Do you drink anything special, herb wise? Keep yourself young?"
He kind of as he's trying to hold his intimidating posture, he kind of smirks. It kind of shines through just a little bit. Are you starting to make any movements, Spoonbreaker?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave the golden dip.
As you try to leave, you find you cannot get through the exit. And you hear his voice. I said, pick up your gold, then leave.
Nah, it's not really my goal at that point.
Oh, it is, because we no longer have business.
No, that's fine. Then guess it just is in your shop.
Very well. And the door before you unseals. Wabu, you watch Spoonbreaker walk out, and you see his pile of gold on the ground. As Spoonbreaker has left, Arcane Bob has now settled down back into his seat. And he says, Wabu, I'm sure you're going to see him again. Could you please give that to him?
Wabu's like, sure. And he goes and grabs it. And then he's like, pauses for a moment. He's like, I know what it is. It's your potions of speed. That's what keeps you so young.
If anything, those are rushing me towards my grave, just at a very slow pace. But it is my magic. My magic holds my body together. I've been aching for a long time, but my work is not yet done.
Wabu's just like, ooh, magic.
Yes, Wabu.
Eyes
Magic.
sparkling. Wabu's like, okay. You sleep, I go. And he kind of heads off.
Okay. Says, I will see you again, Wabu. Are you taking the gold?
Bob asked me to, and I feel like I'm on good terms with Bob's because I'm a simpleton. So yeah, I'm taking the gold. I'm too simple to really get the complexities of the situation.
Okay. So you take the 10,000 gold and you head out. So, for player knowledge, those of you who are in multiple of my games, they all take place in different worlds. Arcane Bob is in all of those worlds with the same shop. This is an extra planar being. Yes, he was once upon a time human. He is not exactly human anymore. He can still be hurt. However, think of a malevolent Kang, but with magic instead of technology. This dude traverses space and time. He is going to be a god in my homebrew world. He's basically a demigod at this point. So this is the reason why he was not intimidated, even with the 24. Just, to be clear.
Yeah. That's cool. He's just a bitch. It's fine.
One of
I
my
think Spoonie-
favorite
I think
NPCs,
Spoonie can take him.
motherfucker. Sorry, what was that, Pheonix?
I said I think Spoonie can take him. Go teach him a lesson, Spoonie.
You just want to see what his third fucking character is in this game. That's what that is, and I know damn well.
I thought about it, dude. I really thought about it. I was gonna go out quick, dude.
Oh, you was. You was going to
I'm
go
a
out so
tabaxi shit
fucking quick.
disturber.
Been really easy.
Hey, as long as Bob decided to leave a pinky left, Wabu could have saved him. It just would have been another purchase at the shop.
Just a little disintegration spell, followed by a power word kill. I would have done it. Bonus action, take a potion of speed, and you were fucking done.
I mean, Pheonix was messing with Bob when he was in there. He just didn't try to intimidate him.
Yeah, see, that's different. You're messing around.
I don't know.
Threats are
Arcane
not
Bob's a
taken
little
well.
bitch. I wasn't threatening him, dude.
Bro, you rolled for intimidation. You were trying to intimidate him.
That's not threatening.
That is. Empty threat or not, it's still a threat.
Regardless, it was a high roll. He's just a little bitch.
I mean, what you do? You want to you want to re-roll your decisions and go back? We could do that. You ain't gonna like how it goes, but we could do it.
Go fight him. Be a man.
Yeah, I want to, but I got no black up, dude. I'm gonna be fighting a demigod. The fuck? You guys are insane.
They're not the ones who wanted to intimidate him. Everybody else has been rather cordial.
I just wanted to know if he knew where my shit was and was lying to me.
So
Think
you
that
should have
was
rolled
fair.
an insight to determine whether he was lying, not
Well,
intimidation.
well, the more you know.
My players, man, my
It's
fucking
fine,
players
dude.
sometimes.
Arcane Bob will be okay.
All right, well, Spoonbreaker apparently like straight hightailed it back to the Citadel. However, as you are coming out, where are you heading, Wabu?
Probably just back to my bedroom at that point. I see Spoonbreaker, or has he like ran? I don't know, like how.
I don't know.
far
Did
he ran.
it looked like he ran? Did you like run? You sprint your ass back?
No, I didn't sprint back. I just walked out and dipped.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, in that case, Pheonix and Richter, as you start coming through this market, much of which is destroyed, you do notice Spoonbreaker, kind of walking towards you, towards the gate that you guys just came out of, in a bit of a huff, and not far behind him, maybe a good 30 seconds behind him is Wabu. As you guys are taking this disc of food, leftover food, out towards some people in this vicinity where your first battle was.
Spoonie, what's going on, man? Where's the fire?
Oh, just pissing Arcane Bob off.
Pissing off Robert?
Who?
Robert, Arcane Robert.
Oh yeah, Arcane Robert, Arcane Dick. Yeah, he's in Arcane Dick mood tonight.
Let's not be picking fights with him, man. He regrew his leg yesterday.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fine. If anything, maybe I'll just hand off my gold and go pray outside of another shop of Arcane Bob's if we run into him.
We're hanging out here, handing out food, just trying to fix shit up.
I guess I can go hand out some food, help out some of these poor folk missing their homes.
About this time, Wabu comes waddling up. Waddling not just because he's a turtle, but he's carrying this very large and super heavy sack of 10,000 gold coins.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just gonna walk up to Sulameen and be like, "Oh, hey, here, this is for you. Bob wanted you to have it."
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna shake my head.
You guys, the other two of you, you remember that he said he pissed off Bob, and all of a sudden Bob is giving him 10,000 gold. A little confusing.
I just cock my eye.
Little odd to be paid 10,000 gold by somebody you just pissed off.
Wabu looks at him confused. He's like, pissed off. He's like, Bob just told us how old he was and showed us how awesome he was. That's all.
Richter and Pheonix, I'd like an insight check on that.
Oh boy, I guess I should open my character sheet.
Pheonix, you're still a little bit puzzled. Richter, you've never seen Arcane Bob give a display of power before. Mixed with, the fact Spoonbreaker just said he pissed off Arcane Bob. Wabu is bringing him 10,000 gold from Arcane Bob. And hearing that Arcane Bob just did a display of power, this is ultra confusing. You may make out of it what you will.
Richter just kind of mutters a couple words under his breath, like, what?
What the devil?
This city makes no sense to me.
Arcane Bob's lucky I'm not a god.
Spoonbreaker, are you taking the 10,000 gold?
I thought he said he gave it to Sulameen.
Sulameen's not here. I think he meant you.
Oh. Then,
Yeah, sorry, I meant you.
Oh, then. Oh. Yeah.
But
I
I'm
guess
all
so.
about donations if you want to.
Yeah, I'll take the gold. Yeah, fuck it. Whatever.
All right. So with that, the place where the most people are working, I mean, the down here is a little bit wrecked. It's not horrible though, but this is also the, nobles and the area that are the fancy people. A lot of trade merchants and shit like that, out of towners, kind of rent these places. So although this place down here is a little bit torn up, there's not many people working down here. Most of them are working for the lower and middle class, the workers of this city. They're putting back together their homes before they put together, shit for the rich. So they're up here. If you guys want to continue that way, you may. Sound like Spoonbreaker's going to go with Richter and Pheonix. Wabu, do you wish to go with them, or are you going to go back to the Citadel?
I think Wabu is probably pretty tired. He's been constantly helping out and casting magic, so he's probably just going to go for an early bed tonight.
Okay. So, with that, you guys over here, we're going to switch to Sulameen, though. Sulameen, you and... Which Pheonix was yours again? Or Griffin, sorry?
Let me look, because name's not my strong suit. Shadowbeak.
You and this very large black griffin kind of soar over the city. And although there is, a little bit of smoke here and there, it's mostly, all the fires have been put out. A lot of the smoke in the air is more dust than smoke. A lot of rubble being removed, put back together using magic. Houses are being rebuilt, and even some of these large stalagmites, which are often used as homes and businesses, you see them kind of being put back into place. They've moved cranes into the area, but you fly over both of these sections, and you come down here, and this building here, I believe, was the tavern you guys had first walked into. Assassin Guild Tavern. Oh, it's this one down here? It is rubble. The heat was so hot, it even melted much of the stone. And now it is just a pile of melted rubble. However, these other places in the area are still standing. And as you land, give me a perception check.
Oof.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, not you, Mr. Richter.
Yeah, I'm not there.
I like his roll better.
You do, but I mean the only skill checks that can actually crit fail are thieves' tools. So 14, still not bad. You look around and the area is somewhat silent. You feel like there's probably not much life here. However, as you and Shadowbeak kind of walk around, you get the feeling you are being watched. Both you and Shadowbeak can make a perception.
I'll break out Shadowbeak in 1 sec. For him, is it just wisdom?
Yeah, if he doesn't have a perception skill, then yes, wisdom. He doesn't seem to notice, but suddenly hears something as you guys are walking around this building over here. In the darkened doorway, you can't really see inside, but it almost looks as if there are two small eyes peering at you.
I'll take my bow off my back, knock an arrow, and ready it.
The eyes disappear inside.
I'll go back to searching the battlefield, looking for any clue, any insight, any scrap of intel.
So, I mean, there's not really a battlefield in the area. It was just that one building. The rest of this is mostly untouched.
So where was the first hole that we fought at? That's where I was.
Oh, I thought you wanted to go down to the where you like your first
Oh,
fight.
no, I'm sorry. No.
Oh, that's where these guys are up here.
Oh, well, I'm a dumbass. Yeah, I'll go with that.
Oh,
Sorry, man.
you don't want to check out the eyes?
I'm now walking in there alone, dude.
Oh, okay. That poor child. Sure.
Oh, well. That just screams ambush, buddy.
Oh well.
You see eyes, and then you're like, I think I'm in the wrong spot, and you hop back on the griffin and fuck off.
Hey, you know, sometimes discretion is the better part of valor.
Yeah, you guys are just kind of walking down about this area, and you look up, and you can see Shadowbeak flying north, and he lands up in the area where you guys are actually headed to try and help out. So before they actually get all the way up there, as you look around Sulameen, what are you looking for?
Bodies, documents, uniforms, any kind of equipment that might give me an idea as to the origin.
So it has at this point been almost 2 full days since the battle. The
Place is
bodies,
sanitized.
yeah, the bodies have been cleared. Most of the place is already being rebuilt, and in fact, you also see something right here. It seems that they are working on a large monument, although right now it is not on fire. That's supposed to be, you know, once it's done, they get lit. But it seems to be a large dwarven figure. Around it are tall obelisks with chains. Seem to be holding what they have so far built of it in together. You also notice that there are along the back sides of the obelisk that are holding this massive statue. Right now, they've only got up to the waist built, but this looks like it's going to be a good 100-foot statue. Although the obelisks are there, you can also see that there's somebody chipping away something on the backside of them.
I'll go around to see if it's an inscription, and if so, what it is.
It is. As you look, you notice that Not only is he down there, seem to be, chipping some inscriptions in, but up higher, he's scaffolding going up this obelisk. And there are more than 30 people at regular intervals that seem to be inscribing something into these obelisks. And as you kind of look around, you realize that this is exactly where the tunnel was. Where they were building this massive statue is where the purple zombie worms had drilled up. And as you take a look, what languages do you speak?
ASKII, Common, Dwarven, English, Traveling, Use Can't. That's it.
You recognize much of what is being written. These are names. Each obelisk is being inscribed with the names of dwarves, elves, halflings, humans. Need an insight. You believe that these might be the names of the fallen.
Makes sense. I'll bow my head in respect momentarily.
As for the rest of you, the three of you are heading up this way. Much of the area down south of you is empty. There's nobody there. And you realize why as you get closer to the north. In fact, you pretty much as soon as you get to this little alleyway here, you can start to see the obelisks as well as the large unfinished dwarven statue in the distance. And you're aware that Sulameen landed, up in this area. But as you get here, you do see a lot of the people here are covered in dirt and dust. Many of which obviously look like they have been slogging for a long time. In fact, the three of you can give me an insight, please. Booney? Spoonbreaker. You feel like some of these people have not slept at all in like a couple days. They are definitely weary. But you notice that none of them are really stopping. They might be a little slower. They're not stopping. But as the three of you approach this area, what would you guys like to do? You want to talk to somebody, or there's that, that big, massive fucking statue being built? What do you guys want to do?
Richter will use the rest of his spell slots to help with animate objects. He has 2 level 5, level 6, and level 7, and level 8 spell slot. So he'll just help with animate objects, helping to ease the work or help the wizards or who's ever doing work if possible.
Okay. What about Tensor's floating disc? Is that concentration?
Yeah, so I guess for the first question is there any food left on the disc from handing it out? Finish handing out the food and then finish casting it. It's a ritual spell and it's not concentration, but Big B's hand is.
Okay, so I'm going to say that, like I said, the area down south was pretty much empty. So I'm going to say pretty much nobody has really actually taken a part of this. But as you approach, you do see a lot of, tired and weary workers working away.
Yeah, I just dropped my rousing speech in the chat there.
So you're all tired. We're here to help, and we brought food. So let's all take a break and eat food, and we'll get back to me. Plus was. Alright. Yeah, they don't need to hear the word food twice. They hear food, and several of them, even the ones like kind of up on the top of the obelisks, they drop their hammers and they come running down. As they descend upon this tensor's floating disc, like scavenger, thanking you, Richter and Spoonbreaker, but not even really like, they're just kind of like taking fistfuls, like, just a fistful of like meat and a fistful of like, vegetables or whatever else is on there, and they kind of go off, and most of them are done their massive handful inside of a minute. And
yeah, all of them as they approach to get food, Pheonix is like waiting to shake their hand and tell them what a great job they're doing.
Richter is like a little bit the opposite. He's more self-involved. Like, hey, look how awesome it is to meet me.
holy fuck.
Yeah, he loves every moment of spotlight he can get.
Standing up on the tip of the finger, the tip of the middle finger, like I've done this. I brought you this meal.
Not necessarily taking the glory from the group, but really being like, yes, isn't this amazing that you're meeting me today?
Shit's on autographs.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
The balls on a couple of you, man.
Not taking credit for the food. He's he's representing the Stormforge, but yeah, he's like, yeah, this is the best day of your life, isn't it?
Holy fuck. They nobody really I mean, a couple do shake your hand, but most of them are like, by the time they grab their fistful of meat and whatnot, then they kind of look at you and they're like, you got your hand out, and they're kind of like 2 hands already full of meat. One of them fucking just like stuffs an entire like, handful of like chicken into his yap, and just like uses that same hand to grasp yours and shake your hand and say thank you. Pull your hand away, just covered in fucking like bits of chicken left over.
I mean, I was waiting for them in front, like before they got to the hand, but
bro, they're descending on this. Like they haven't really done much of a break. Like, I mean, they're not starving, they're not slaves, but they're more what's the word I'm looking for?
Hungry.
Vanished.
Yeah. I mean, they could take breaks, but they want this done as quickly as possible, and bring the glory back to their cities. So they haven't had much of a break. They're just like, they see food and like, I mean, you're cool, you're the Stormforge, but you are second place at the moment.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, whether they shake my hand or not, I'm not forcing them to shake my hand. I'll pat them on the shoulder or whatever. I'm just like doing it, as they're going by. I'm like, thank you so much. Oh, you're doing a great job. Oh, wonderful work over here. Like just inspiring them, trying to make sure that they know that they're appreciated.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the very least, some of them might only give a nod, but I mean, a lot of them do make the effort to shake your hand. It's just most of them go for the food and then come back. And, say thank you and that kind of stuff. Yeah, Richter, they some of them try to shake your hand too. Self-importance though, but like,
Yeah, low key, he finds that annoying.
holy shit. Yeah.
But when they try to shake your hand.
No. When they're like not shaking his hand, he's
Oh.
like, "Fuck."
Oh.
He's like, "Don't these people realize that I'm here?" He's like, he thinks he should have more people shaking his hand.
Christ, man, you should have been a fucking like
I don't mean to be a dick, but they're a little ungrateful.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how about you, Spoonbreaker? What are you doing? You just chilling, hanging out, or trying to shake some hands?
I'm just observing, smiling, happy for them that they're eating right now, maybe not later. And that's not my fault, but I did help them survive, and that's good enough for me.
Okay, so a little less self-important is what you mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Sulameen, as you're kind of like looking at this inscription, you do hear a voice shout out, and several other people are like, "Guys, food!" Hollering up the obelisk on the other side, and they all kind of go running. Everybody clambering down from their scaffolding, upside these obelisks. What do you want to do?
I'll walk around with pitchers of whatever they have, ale, wine, water, and refill glasses. Bring people refills on food as it looks like they run down. Basically just serving them.
All right. Yeah, I'd say there was probably a couple pitchers left. There's not a lot of pitchers, and there is like a good 100 people or so. So like the food and the drink is gone rather quickly. Even
Gotcha.
even as you try to like get over there and start filling up cups, like you realize there's only about 5 pitchers. So you're able to ration it out so that everybody can get a taste of the drinks and whatnot. But they're definitely not getting full mugs unless you're recording 3/4 of them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so you just kind of walk around like giving them a sip of ale. Some of them take wine, and you're just even noticing that it's not even just dwarves. You're seeing halflings doing hard work. You're seeing elves doing
Gross.
manual labor. Like, this is not typical behavior. But you guys kind of get the feeling that no matter the race in this city, they are proud to be part of this. Before long, they all do start going back to work. Yeah.
Yeah, Pheonix, as soon as the line dies down or whatever, while they're eating, Pheonix will go and start working. So like when they all start coming back to work, they're joining me. I'm already there.
Sure. Yeah, you begin to find a place among the workmen here. And you're able to mostly what you can do is you're able to move some broken stones and shit out of the way kind of thing. As there's not a lot of my fucking Discord is going wrong. Sorry, give me a minute. I'll be back in Discord in a second. I gotta close that out. Having an issue. Okay. I think I'm back. I think I'm good. So yeah, a lot of what they're doing is, the inscriptions that are being put up on the thing, that's more of a dwarven thing to be doing, because they know how to work stone really well. But so you do notice some houses are being built. There's some rubble that still needs to be moved out of the way. You do see several, mostly halflings, hauling around wood and lumber, help build up the houses. So there's plenty of things there to be doing. That's what Pheonix is doing. What are the other 3 of you doing as the... Oh yeah, Richter, you said you're animating objects? Is that correct?
Yep. I got a bunch of spell slots for animate objects, so I'm just gonna go gangbusters, helping where I can, speed up the process.
Sure. What are you using it to do?
Clear rubble, like all the big pieces. I'm gonna focus on the biggest, heaviest, most awkward pieces, and just try to pick them up and move them to the processing area for being broken down, or something like that.
Sure. You start to take off some big pieces of rubble. Give me a perception check. Cool. You find this very large piece. This seems to be a rather round boulder. And you start to animate it and start directing it where to go. You hear somebody yell, "Hey, hey, we need that!"
Oh, where do you want it? You kind of just respond back.
Where it was. That's going to be the head. And he's pointing up at this large statue. As you look at it, this thing doesn't seem to really have much of a form. It does kind of look like just broken rock. Point. However, as you're kind of looking up, you do notice that where they are, they're about waist high on the statue, and you can see that they are kind of chipping away at this statue. So they're kind of basically putting it up in layers, finding a way to smooth it and put it together, and then carving out the shape. So like right now, you can see like where they've gotten to basically mid-thigh has definition, whereas the rest of it up to the waist just seems to be at this point unfinished and unmolded rock. So you realize that one is probably the head.
I guess I'll just put this down then. Sorry, I'm trying to clear some rubble, and I'll be more attentive to what I'm moving next time.
He points over to one of the houses that still has a large boulder in it. The wall has been knocked out, and looks like the boulder is pretty much sitting in the kitchen. This thing's about twice the size of you in height. Says, "Can always move that one."
And I do.
Yeah, over the course, if you're willing to take instruction from these lowly peasants, they'll guide you on which ones to over the course of your working here with them.
Yeah, he generally keeps up the attitude that he's a hot shot, like he's like, look what I'm doing. But yeah, he's looking to help.
All right, Spoonbreaker, how about you?
I mean, Spoonbreaker can cast, Mage Hand a bunch of times to help as a cantrip.
Sure. Yeah, you cast Mage Hand, and you kind of follow the groups of halflings and elves who are hauling around lumber and such things like that, and they even have some wizards there who are casting mend. So what a lot of times they'll do is they're picking up chunks of wood and holding them in place and using the mend spell to begin to fix the exterior of the houses. The what I'm looking for. Framework. So you join in helping that out. He is not a bard, Pheonix. He is a sorcerer.
Close enough.
Still charisma based. You start helping them with that, and through the course of the next few hours, you help put together a few more houses. Sulameen, what are you doing to help out? Or do you want to do something else?
No, I'll do some manual labor. Tote that barge, lit that bale. I'll just find someone who looks like they're in charge and say, how can I help? Let me know what you need me to do. I'm strong, I'm quick, I've had plenty of rest and food. Put me to work.
Yeah. They basically put you to work doing the same thing Spoonbreaker's doing. Moving wood from one place to another, holding pieces together so that a wizard can cast mend on it. Um, the most of the rubble is already taken away. I mean, there's a few pieces that Richter are helping with, but without cranes or magic, you're not really gonna be able to move those. So, yeah, you can definitely continue helping to rebuild some of the houses, um, things like that.
Gotcha. I'm all about it.
And how long are you guys doing this for? Okay, it's probably about 9 o'clock by the time you get to this area and start helping.
I'll work till like midnight.
Sounds reasonable. Then we can still get our long rest in.
All right, for sure. You guys finish
I
up.
mean, I can still get my long rest in anyway. I'll just sleep until for 8 hours, regardless of what time I go to bed. Oh, do we have commitments in the morning?
No, you guys have about 3 days till the funeral.
Yeah, there you go. Even if we did, tell them I'm a cat. Where's Pheonix? I don't know, man. He's a cat. He's probably sleeping.
All right. So, you guys continue till about midnight. Takes you guys about an hour and change probably to get back to the Citadel. You guys get your long rest in. So, I know there's one thing that needs to be done the next day. But other than that, actually, I guess there's two things. But other than that, is there anything specific other than like helping out, feeding people and helping rebuild the place and whatnot over the next 3 days?
I had
Go ahead.
you go first.
I was gonna say, yeah, of course. I just have to do the regenerate thing.
Yeah, the regenerate and the speak with dead thing, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a teleport spell I have to give our maid friend Sakura to go back to the mansion.
Correct. Okay.
And
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was about to ask, is there anything else? Go ahead.
I'm thinking we're probably on a timeline here because while we're rebuilding the city, our enemies are advancing and planning. Was there a strategy before Grimgullier? Because Wabu and I just came to the group, so we're not sure how things worked before.
I think the strategy was to come here and then like head down the. We're heading down something. Was it a wall or a coast or I can't remember. I'd have to see the map.
The southeast coast, where you guys believe your next artifact piece is. In fact, everybody, once you're outside the city, can see the basically the beacon in the southeast shining into the sky that only you guys can see because you guys are tuned to the first artifacts.
Got it. Okay. Then it sounds like there's a plan, and I'll just shush and go along with it.
Well, I mean, you're obviously welcome to ask, and we would explain where we were headed and be like, you're more than welcome to join us,
Oh yeah, totally. No, I'm just saying it sounds like there's already a plan. I don't need to make one, or we don't need to make one, so let's roll with it. Totally on board.
Dope. Yeah, Pheonix is just going to spend as much time as he can working, helping, and just trying to fucking boost morale,
For sure.
give some speeches, tell people how great they're doing all the time, really just try to pump people up and keep them ambitiously working.
Right. You guys do notice that as you get back to the Citadel that night,
Actually, Savage, can I wreck out my plan for the day?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask the Underbaron for access to the library, of course, supervised, given our history of events with one another, but I'm looking for any information on whoever our enemy's leader is. History, biographies.
Okay.
Yeah, Richter loves that. If he catches wind of that, he's going to the library too. is an
Right.
archivist
Yeah,
and loves
right.
research.
He's gonna let you two schmoes back in the library.
Right, I would. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Maybe he'll bring you out some books. Like,
Maybe with handcuffs, right?
Oh, the heavy guard that'll be on the two of you. My God.
Little ball and chain at the ankle.
It was all a big misunderstanding.
I didn't have my library card.
Jesus. Okay. Spoonbreaker, is there anything specific you want to do over the next 3 days?
So Spoonbreaker is gonna pray for the first time in a while.
All right, and who's your deity again?
I think it was Melora or something like that. Yes, Melora.
Okay.
And I was, quote, her chosen, end quote. But I'm gonna do that at some point.
Okay. So we'll say that as you guys had gotten back to the Citadel that night, you had noticed something new in the area. Out in the back here, you start to notice stone slabs. Over, some of them are just empty, just large stone slabs that are sitting there. But they seem to have been raised directly from the ground, the rock. However, some of these slabs see white sheets over them. And there
Peek
seems
under the sheet.
I mean, let me get through my full description first, then we'll see if you want to
Sorry, man,
peek under
sorry.
the sheet. You see dozens of people over there, and some of them are raising more stones from the ground. And as the area begins to fill, you've noticed that they are basically continuing to raise these into the air, and underneath them another stone slab sits. In the first area, you see about 4 high, and then as you know, the further to the east you get, it looks like more people are starting to resurrect the first one. However, you're noticing that the ones that are already, like 4 slabs high, there seemed to be something on slabs. Looks like large lumps underneath the white sheet. And you guys can see, actually, I guess Sulameen, you'd be flying because you had your griffin. The others would be going in the front door, probably wouldn't see this. But Sulameen, you can see what looks to be stretchers being carried out and white sheets over top of them. And
Never mind.
you watch as whatever's on these stretchers, which, as I figure you've just figured it out, you can see them being laid onto these slabs. But as you land down here to put your griffin in the stable, you also see a pedestal being kind of raised in the center of it, and all of these slabs kind of like go around the large pedestal. You can see small stairs heading up to a podium. Seems that this is probably going to be where the funeral takes place.
Your funeral.
So salty. But with that, you guys kind of take your rest for the evening. You guys get your long rest in. You get up about 8, 9 in the morning.
Wait,
Wait, what you
Were
want?
we at the site,
At what site?
the funeral site?
Sulameen had to fly in, and the Griffin stables are in the back, which is why he saw it. The rest of you were walking, so you would have had to come in the south gate down here, and you would have just walked right in here. You wouldn't have been able to see it. However, I mean, during breakfast, you know, they've got that big window at the Citadel that the Underbaron had looked through. So come the morning, you could easily notice it as breakfast is being served. The Underbaron sits, and Ash and Bettany are there. They're very solemn, and Bettany does seem to be nervous. But the Underbaron sits and he says, "So, have you all seen what I'm planning for the funeral yet?"
Phoenix will kind of glance towards the window.
Yes, it is sad. We have gotten our total of deaths. We believe we are sitting at, what is the total? Population was 19,090. We have lost around half of our population. If another attack like this was to happen, I don't think we could hold it. And he looks very somber. He says, "But I'm planning a great celebration for our victory and to celebrate the lives that have lost. We're going to treat them with honor and dignity. Statues that are being built around will be their burial site."
Richter is like crunching on a biscuit, and he chimes up and says, "Underbaron, during the attack, you had referenced the weapon. We haven't really talked about it at all since that moment. Would there be a way for us to inspect it and understand it a little bit more? I know you had referenced, you had talked about it before as well. Richter's looking for more information on what that was."
The weapon, the secret of the city. But if you are looking for an idea of how it could help you in the war,
Exactly.
I can promise you it.
That's a shame. Anything we could use to get an edge on these undead, but if you say so.
He
Get to munching.
he kind of like shifts his gaze to the lever that he almost pulled, and you can see that the glass around it has been remade. Says he has his hammer, and he says, "This is the only thing that can break that glass. But if I pull that lever, it is a weapon, but it is also my city."
A true last case resort. Did he mean that it's like an arcane weapon or like a magic weapon that only that weapon can break it?
So
The glass.
Well, you guys know his weapon is the only thing that can break the glass to get to that lever. Because basically, if a spy broke in, shattered the glass, and pulled that lever, then cool, the one person just took down the entire city.
Yeah, so only one specific weapon can break that glass, and it's his hammer.
Yes. This hammer has been passed down since the founding of this city. And one day I'd hoped to pass it off to my son. And thanks to your efforts, and again, that rock that came out of nowhere, I might still get that chance.
Yes, the gods work in mysterious ways. It's a lot of power to have in one person's hand, don't you think? And I'm like, he's like casually eating biscuits as well when he's doing this.
Holy fuck, the balls. He kind of glances at you, and you can see him like slide it back into his loop on his belt, and keep his hand on the top of his fucking hammer. Like,
So is that loop a knot or just a loop?
it's a leather loop on his belt.
All right.
Sulameen's trying to rob this man.
Yeah, for real though.
I'm just asking for a friend.
People
To be fair,
threatening
he did go
Arcane
crazy.
Bob, wanting to fucking rob the goddamn Underbaron. Like, we're gonna rebuild the city, but we're gonna destroy it for fun on our way out. Like, holy
See,
fuck.
this is what happens when you don't plan shit,
No,
man.
we just don't trust the Underbaron.
I
He's
know,
a bit
he-
of a loose
Right?
cannon.
He's acting
okay?
like it's our fault that I
Exactly.
didn't know what the difference was between intimidation and intrigue with Arcane Bob.
Well, that if you were like, if you'd said, "Oh, like I want to know if he's telling the truth," then I would have been like insight. Instead, you're like, I glare at him. I'm like, "What are you doing?" You're like, I'm intimidating. I was like, okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you'd just been like, do I feel like he's lying? I would have been like insight. You
Well,
gotta,
now
you
I
gotta
know.
ask that
I'm-
question
no,
kind
no,
of thing.
that's
You know what I'm
fine,
saying?
dude. Arcane Bob and I were cool, dude. No
Yeah, and
worries. I'm not
Richter's
sweating.
definitely. Sorry.
I mean, you might be able to patch things up if you try. That's gonna be up to you.
Yeah, and Richter's totally being a dick right now.
So question while
Also
we're
up
with
to
the under.
Arcane Bob.
Go ahead, Sulameen.
I was gonna say while we're with the Underbaron, do we have any insight as to how solid his mental state is right now?
He seems to be in good spirits. He is a little solemn and probably a little ashamed that he went for that went for the city suicide button. But he's he seems to be all right. You do see through the melancholy that he does have a bit of a glimmer in his eye. Things are looking up. Almost
Okay,
like there's a
that's-
little hope.
That's good.
Before breakfast is over, however, he does bring in a wizard enters the chamber. Sir, I understand you needed a spell. Yes. You can be given that to that one there with all the questions. Pointing at you, Richter. The wizard does walk over and he hands you a scroll of Speak with Dead.
Ah, thank you. This should help. And I'm just looking at it.
It's definitely a scroll of Speak with Dead.
I put it in my my satchel of scrolls.
He looks at you, Wabu, and says, I did have someone put away that arm, though. You look in that chest next to the throne. You might be able to be bringing your friend's friend back. And Bettany kind of like looks up with hope at that.
Wabu will walk over to the chest
So you know that you are going to need first a slab to kind of put the arm on.
Yeah.
With enough room for the body to come back. You will also
Probably a good
need.
space.
You're also going to need like utter quiet and concentration. And how this spell is going to work is once you begin casting, you're going to get to a certain point in it, and you are going. All right. Well,
So, Wabu, are you going for the resurrection first, or are we going to try and grab Dwalia first? What do you guys want to do?
Let's do the regeneration first, just because I'm sure Bettany would appreciate that.
Fair, fair.
how long does this spell take?
Planning ahead, though, one of the questions I'd like to ask Dwalia, if y'all are up for it, is whether or not she would come back if she were given the opportunity.
Oh.
I would pay for the materials to bring her back, just so we could question her.
I see. Very well.
Well, this is what 3 questions I get with, or we get with Speak with Dead.
5.
Either 3 or 5.
5.
That's totally fine with me.
Even better.
So, as breakfast is finished, and Wabu, you go and pull the severed arm, which is starting to get a little bit of a stink to it. Take it out, and Underbaron orders the table cleared. It's a large table. It is far big enough to easily place him upon, or regrow his body on. So, Wabu, you are aware that the closest person should stand next to you, and anybody else who wishes to try to bring this person back to the body, in basically, left, right, whoever wishes to speak. So as you get prepared to cast this spell, set out the oils and the oon. I'll be honest, I don't even know what an Ujin is, so don't anybody ask me. But oils and whatnot. Bettany stands next to you. Ash next to Bettany. The rest of you, do you wish to stay for this ritual? Or do you wish to do something else?
Yes, Richter's very intrigued.
Who are we resurrecting?
Basically, it is Ash's lover, Bettany. It is basically her father figure. So, something that you guys had learned, I don't think you were there for that session, is that when Ash... Hello, everybody. So, once again, I did have some technical difficulties, so I'm making this video to explain my power had gone out. You're going to see a weird symbol there. Those of you who, see Twitch, sometimes it just means a disconnect or something. But fear not, the rest of the video is coming. Just stay tuned. Thanks, everybody. Alright, I am back, I think, finally, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, today's a day, man. Today's a day. So, I believe where I was is you were laying out the ingredients for this spell, yes?
Sorry, the ingredients for the spell?
Yes.
Yeah, I have them.
Yeah, I said you were laying them out, right? That's where we were?
Yeah, that's exactly where we were.
Alright, cool. And how long does the spell take?
Let me double check on the time. It takes 1 hour.
Alright. So, Richter, you're staying. The other 3 of you, what are you guys doing?
El biblioteca.
You're heading to the library?
Or a biblioteca, yes.
You, okay.
If the Underbaron will go for it, I'll promise to be good. He can have guards on me, and I'll keep my hands in plates eye the whole time.
Okay, so while he's laying this all out, I'm assuming you're going to approach the Underbaron.
Yes.
Yes, Sulameen. Sorry. Yeah, Sulameen. No, that's not it. Aye, Sulameen. What you been needing? And it's good enough.
This may seem like an unusual request given our history, and you know, now that that's all water under the bridge, I was thinking in our efforts to battle this undead horde, perhaps we might find some information in the library. To which end, access to the library, of course, supervised closely by your trusted guards, might be beneficial to myself and Richter. Or Richter not.
As soon as you mention library, he kind of like squints at you. What information you be seeking?
So I understand there's a leader of these undead, and I'm trying to learn more about him. Bibliography or biography, autobiography, research, commentary, anything on it.
Well, we've been knowing his name. We've been knowing he a lich. Beyond that, the only other thing we know, he doesn't come from another world. But I'm sure maybe some information on liches might be of service.
I think it very well could be.
He seems to be thinking for a moment, and he's like, he looks at one of the guards. Yeah. You go get 10 men. Best you know. He looks at you and says, when they come back, you may go with them. No restricted access. As he tells the guard. Guard nods.
See, that's where the best information might be. I think perhaps
No
if you...
restricted access.
Point made.
He nods and he heads back towards the table. Pheonix, Spoonbreaker, what are the two of you doing? You hanging out, or are you gonna go with him? You gonna go do something else?
There any pubs open?
Most of the pubs are kind of doing their, there are a few open. They're not busy. But at this point, they're mostly, you know, feeding in and giving food and water to the men and women who are working out the city. You might be able to find one open.
Pheonix
Yeah,
at
I'm
the-
gonna.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go look for a pub.
Okay. And Pheonix?
Pheonix is AFK.
Oh, baby stuff?
Yep.
Fair enough. Alright, well, dude, what the fuck? I don't know what is with the scammers today, man. In the last 2 hours, I've gotten 6 fucking text messages about fucking my fucking Scotia alerts or CIBC or Bank of Montreal shit. Like, I usually get like 1 every day or 2. I've gotten 6 in the last fucking hour, maybe 2.
That's great.
Christ. And I don't have any of those fucking banks, like...
Always a scam. Yeah.
But yeah. Pheonix can tell me what he's doing when he gets back. But put my phone where it's supposed to be, and we will start with the spell. Alright, so what you guys are working on will take severe concentration. So silence is needed till the moment where Wabu says that she can begin speaking with him. So, for those of you who are staying, over the next 30 minutes, the room is in utter silence, other than Wabu's chanting as he is slathering this arm in oils and aromatics. And over the course of the first like 30-40 minutes, watch as this arm seems to regenerate into a new body, and it begins to also fix the aroma. However, Wabu, post the spell for me, please. Cool. Yep. Roll me a D100. 98 is a tiefling. As the body begins to form, it seems to elongate. This is not the size of a man. Instead, the size of a tiefling. It begins to grow horns, and the skin color begins to change red. You can see the teeth inside the mouth are rather sharp, pointed. And as this creature forms on the table, you do hear... I'm going to need a concentration check from Wabu, as Bethany... That's not his body! And begins to accidentally break your concentration. So let's see that con save.
Real quick, was he a dwarf before? Or was he a human before?
I believe he was a human.
Okay, I just wanted to check. Here's my con save.
Hold concentration. And as she's kind of freaking out, Ash kind of like, puts a hand over her mouth. He needs to concentrate. He needs to concentrate. Sorry, I'm trying to whisper, but my stream won't pick it up unless I'm a little louder. Shh, he needs to concentrate. And she kind of calms down, and you can kind of hear whispers in the background, Wabu, but you continue to shoot your chant, and you get louder to try and hold your concentration on it. Obviously, Bethany is surprised that this particular body in front of her is not a human. However, you continue, and Ash kind of calms her down, and in fact pulls her off to the side for a moment. Says, doing the best you can. I mean, you can't really hear Wabu. None of you really can, but just for... They seem to be talking back and forth. But Ash seems to calm her down. And now you're about 45 minutes in. And the body has fully formed. At this point, Wabu, you're aware that this would be a good point for her to begin speaking. You kind of tell her to come over and take one of your hands. As both you've been using your hands to oil the arm and such, and continue oiling whatever body part grew. She reaches out to take your hand, and as she does, you kind of make sure that the oil kind of slathered on her as well, on her hand. And you hold her hand, and suddenly you are both shunted into a strange place. It seems to be full of light. Radiance stings eyes. Both you and her can barely see. But eventually, you see a young man hugging a young woman. And at this point, you tell her, speak to him if you wish. She says, but that's not... Oh my gods. Jimmy? And he kind of like stops hugging this woman and over. Bethany! It's lovely to see you, girl. You're so young. You've never met her. Bethany, the little girl I told you about. This... Spoonbreaker, you're ruining a beautiful moment here. She says, fuck, what? I didn't think of a name for her. Jimmy says, this is... Selatu. Just fucking mashing words together, letters together. This is Selatu. This is my wife. She passed when we were young. Selatu, this is Bethany. Oh dear. He's told me so much about you. It's nice to meet you. Bethany suddenly seems a little sad. It's nice to meet you too. Jimmy, I'm here to bring you back. This is Wabu, a friend of Ash's. Ah, hello, Wabu. But bring me back, what do you mean? He's casting a spell to bring you back into your body. He seems to be thinking for a moment. Right. I'm dead. That's how I reunited with Selatu. Yes, I remember now. Rocks falling. I was trapped for days. And then I don't remember anything. She goes, You were crushed. You held on, but they weren't able to get you out in time. I see. Because I don't suppose you want to come back. I mean, the city needs Jimmy Soups. No, my dear. They don't. Selatu needs me. And he kind of grasps the hand of his long-past wife. And she says, Bethany says, but without you, I have no one. My mother's been gone for years. I never knew my father. You're it. You're what I have. Sorry, my dear. I lived a long life. And I was alone until I met you and your mother. You were something of a daughter to me. But my time on that world is gone. It's over. The world is in turmoil, and there's nothing I can do to help it. But maybe you can. And when the day comes and your fighting is done, your watch has ended, there's some things that you might need. And he lets go of his wife's hand, and he begins to whisper something into her ear. right, beholder? Like, what the fuck?
What'd he say?
Only she knows.
Can I insight check that?
You are not there. Only her and Wabu were.
Fuck.
And he smiles. And he brushes back of his hand against her cheek, brushes some hair over her ear. You were like a daughter to me. And I'm proud of you. Now go. Be with Ash. Be with your new friends. Help them save the world. Goodbye, Bethany. And he looks at you, Wabu. And he says, thank you for allowing me to see her again. Please watch over her.
In this, am I able to talk in any way, shape, or form, or no?
You may, if you wish to.
Well, I don't know if it'll screw up my chanting or whatnot, or how, because yeah.
Your chanting is basically back on the material plane. You and her are like almost astral projecting to another plane of existence, really.
Okay. Yeah, so Wabu will just kind of smile and nod, and he's like, well, I'm just glad you guys could speak once more. You seem pretty broken up about it.
Well, she has new friends now. Maybe one day, she will have children of her own. You can feel the pride that I feel in her. And he looks back to Bethany, gives her a kiss on the forehead. And with that, him and the wife hold hands again, and they begin to walk away into the ever-bright light. With this, it's very jarring for you to be pulled back into your body as the spell ends. Bethany immediately starts to cry, and she seems to be searching the room for something, frantically. And she happens to find it over by the throne. She goes running towards the throne, and Underbaron looks at you. Wabu, what happened?
Sometimes people just don't want to come back. And he kind of shrugs.
She finds a parchment and quill near the throne, and she begins writing something frantically through her sobs. Of course, Ash walks over and tries to comfort her. But Bethany is just quickly scribbling these notes as fast as she can. She has to pause a couple times and think, and then continue scribbling. This goes on for several minutes. Anybody wish to do anything about that?
Richter just kind of approaches Wabu to ask him what happened.
Wabu will just kind of explain that when they met, he decided he didn't want to come back to the world we live in. He'd preferred it where he was.
Interesting.
Everybody has a choice.
It was his time.
She finishes scribbling her notes, and she holds up the parchment. And now that she actually has the time to process, does kind of break down into sobs, kind of goes down to her crying. But in the middle of it, she looks up at you, Wabu. Thank you. I will make sure that pay you back one day the cost of those materials. No matter how much it is, it was worth it.
Wabu smiles and says, "You don't need to pay me back. Don't worry about it."
Are you sure that they were expensive, aren't they? I know magic of that power is expensive.
Not as expensive as the cost of a loved one's life. And the chance to see one again.
Thank you. Says. And she notices that her tears are starting to wet the parchment, which there are several pages. She quickly folds them and puts them away. With that, she kind of stands and says, I need to find a kitchen. Underbaron is kind of puzzled. You've been eating what now? A kitchen. She kind of pats the pouch at her side and says, "You allow it, Underbaron. I would like to start feeding the people who are out there working all the time." Ash kind of like looks at her, and as she's patting the pouch, Ash is going to ask what that was, since nobody else apparently is. He says, "He gave me his recipes."
What recipes?
He was a soup vendor, bro.
Oh.
The Underbaron says, "Very well." He motions to one of the guards to take her to the kitchen and get her whatever she needs, and have the chefs help her. So the guard leaves with Bethany, and Ash says she wants to help. So they all head down that way. Oh yeah, Spoonbreaker, you weren't even there at all anyways. You went to go find a tavern.
Just testing you. Seeing if you're paying attention or not.
Let's see. Sulameen, you are in the library or headed that way. Actually, I would say within an hour you're probably in there. Wabu was here, Richter was here, and Pheonix, are you back yet by chance? Nope, guessing not. So I'm gonna say Pheonix was there too. So, as the spell concludes, we are going to swap over to, let's do Spoonbreaker first. Spoonbreaker, you've been going through the city, and you do happen to find a small tavern. It's not a regular tavern. It seems to be more of a stand. That, you know, tavern is not going to be one of the first things that are rebuilt. So, there is a sign hanging outside, although there is a crack in the sign. But you recognize this as one of the signs that had been hanging out in actual tavern building before the battle. Right about here, you find it. You do see a line. most people are, you know, getting their drink and then, you know, drink and maybe a little bit of tavern food, which they then sit and eat and then head off to, you know, most of them go back to work. But you reach the front of the line. Hi, laddie. What can I be getting you? A small halfling woman on the other side of the bar asks.
Well, how many? What's the limit on the pints?
What you be meaning?
Well, if I don't want to buy the store out and have nobody else drink, but I do want a fair share of my drink.
Well, you just looking for pints? I could probably sell you 2 or 3. If you'd be looking for something a little stiffer, I could sell you 1 bottle.
Or go stiffer.
Very well. She pulls out a bottle of... Actually, she pulls out 3. Which one you be wanting? Cheap? Less cheap. Expensive.
Well, what's the expensive look like?
One's about 100 gold a bottle. It has very intricate designs in the glass. You know what? Give me a second. Let's see. What's this bottle look like I got here? That's now empty. You see some dwarven writing on it and what look to be ancient dwarven symbols. Intricate patterns across the entire bottle. Front, sides, and back. It almost looks like a very, very large elixir bottle, the way it is shaped. Kind of rounded corners on the on 2 of the sides that don't really actually turn into a point at all, but more of a crescent just on the 2 sides, but the front and the back are slightly curved.
Yeah. You know what? Sure.
Very well. I hope you be sharing that with some of the working men. She kind of smirks as she takes your 100 gold and passes you the bottle. This is a 15-year-old whiskey. Dwarven whiskey, which, I mean, let's be honest, basically scotch.
Yeah, I'll shoot a shot of it and I'll look around the bar. What do I see?
Just shot scotch? Fucking savage.
Yeah, I am a savage.
As you look around, nobody's really standing still. No.
Well, how many people do I see?
I mean, there's probably there's not really any seating. It's literally just a shack. But you can easily see people, you know, leaning against the sides of buildings or sitting on some barrels or some broken stones and whatnot. Just kind of finishing their meals. I'm gonna say in your rough vicinity. Although there is a couple groups of maybe 2 or 3. There's a few single people sitting there, kind of wolfing down their meal, and either their ale or whiskey, what have you, and then heading back off to work. There's probably a good, let's say, 20 people just chilling in the vicinity. There are a couple groups that are kind of talking and laughing.
You know what? I have a better idea. I am going to pour my drink, like a regular glass.
Okay.
and I'm gonna leave the bottle at the bar for the bartender to distribute to each customer that comes up in moderate dosage to make the bottle last as long as possible.
Okay, so in a bottle there is roughly 20 portions, shots. You took one, so there's 19. You're filling a regular glass. Like, are you talking like a pint glass or?
I mean, I would like a regular Scotch size glass with maybe a little overfill on the Scotch glass.
Okay, so like about 5 shots in the glass, yeah?
Yeah.
She looks at you and smiles. That's a good man there. Or, sorry, that's a good dragonborn there. Thank you, Spoonbreaker. I'll make sure to distribute it. And as other people, after you do that, are you just hanging around, or are you going somewhere?
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna walk away.
All right. You get about fucking 20 feet away, and as you walk away, you can hear, "Oi! 15-year-old whiskey. 1 shot per person for the next 14 people." And the ruckus that ensues. Dwarves and halflings and elves alike are hopping up from their seats. Some are even just dropping their food and running, because, I mean, that's the kind of shit that, the average people do not get a chance at. That's basically like, real life, that'd probably be like a $1,500 bottle.
Sick, dude. I mean, cool guys don't look at explosions, so I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay, that was kind of bomb. I'll give you that. But yeah, is there anywhere in particular you're going after that, or are you just wandering around?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wander around.
All right. So you wander around. Good portion of this market is still intact. And I mean, you're in the same market as Arcane Bob's.
Okay. He told me to leave, dude.
I'm just saying, I also said you might be able to make it better, but, that's going to be up to you. I'm just telling you that is the same market that his place is in.
Yeah, maybe I'll saunter over there eventually.
All right. As you start to make your way over and you reach the tent, we're going to switch over to Sulameen. Sorry. Oh.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
We'll see what happens later on.
Tune in next time.
Sulameen, you are escorted by 10 guards. Some are rather short but built like brick shit houses. Others are very massive. But there's also a couple with a couple of elves that seem to have some very gnarly looking weapons at their hips, escorting you. And you get to the library. Richter, do you remember what the fucking gnome's name was? He had a book related name.
Scribbles.
The doors open and Scribbles is near the desk, kind of shifting some books around, and he turns around and, oh, guards, what do I owe this? Oh, no, I don't think, no, as he catches eye of you, Sulameen, and one of the guards pipes up. Underbaron says he may come in, but we are not to leave his side. We are to keep an eye on him, like hawks or griffins looking for horses.
Scribbles,
Sulameen.
How's it going?
What do you need?
Here for research. I am looking for information about the Lich that is heading the undead army. Anything you have, innuendo, stories, documentary, anything.
Innuendo? I do not carry
Anything.
porn, sir.
Okay, cool. If you do, I don't judge.
Ugh. Anyway, this way, and he leads you towards the back of the library. There's a section about undead, and there's this area here. This is where you're going to look for anything undead. So you might find quite a bit about, some things about his armies. He kind of pulls out a couple books. These are some of the things we saw that were here. There's that. And as for wizards, and he starts looking through, and he's like, here's one. And the title of this book he pulls out is When Wizards Go Too Far. And it's
Nice.
it's all about liches, and it doesn't detail out any 10th level plus spells. Those would be in the restricted area, but he does say there's a good blurb in here about liches, and some ultra powerful ones that they had in these worlds at some point. However, he does also say the same thing the Underbaron said, that he doesn't, that this particular one is from another world, so their knowledge on him is
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that part. Okay. Yeah. So then I will look for general information on liches and undead. See what I can learn.
Says, if you get done with those books, there are more. Feel free to look. Feel free to touch. Do not feel free to take. And he kind of looks at the guards, and one of the guards gives him a nod. But as the entire time you're in here, you are followed by all 10 guards. Like, they basically have a fucking either a circle or a semicircle around you.
To be fair, Scribbles, you do have the book back.
He just kind of guffaws at that. Sorry, you assume what?
I'm assuming it's still in the library?
You don't know, because you cannot see the...
Oh, no, I'm asking him.
He looks at you and just guffaws at you, and then spins on his heels and walks back towards the front of the library.
He's an angry elf.
Especially if you call him an elf, he's a fucking gnome.
I love that.
Well, I will read what I can and learn what I can, and I don't think I have any scrolls, so I can't really copy it, but I'll do my best to memorize it.
Sure. Give me one moment. I should check something. Let me just... Oh, it doesn't look like... I don't think Mr. Rex has... Oops. Quiet, you. Fucking ab. So, same as I did yesterday, Sulameen. In the Discord, there is, it's a different creator, but that is what you are going to learn about liches. It is another long video, however, so you're not going to have time to watch that now.
No, all good.
But I just want to make sure there's not one by minute. probably one of the better ones. God damn it. Ooh. Okay. So, you're gonna give me an investigation. I'm gonna tell you how many things you find.
Womp womp.
All right. So your first one, you do find stuff about the liches. Give me another one. Right. So you also find some information on Dracoliches. Give me another investigation. Find some information on Death Knights. And I'm assuming you're taking, like, pretty much the rest of the day to do this, yes?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I know nothing about magic, so that'd be a wasted effort or a wasted waste of space, basically.
Oh, I didn't know he did stuff on Warcraft lore, too. That's cool. And this one. Richter, are you heading to the library as well after the ritual?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you also get a contingent of 10 guards with you. And between you and Sulameen, those are the only ones I can find right now that I put in the D&D help and links chat in Discord. So both of you, one of you can go through those and play with library. Spend an hour studying the available books, grimoires, codes, archive library, similar collection. While researching a specific subject, you could read any intelligence-based check result related to that subject as 9 or lower. 10.
Pretty much means I can't roll lower than a 10 on anything I've learned in a library.
Very well. So because I'm not going to have all of that shit memorized, and I have too much shit to do with all my other D&D games and whatnot, I'm going to suggest there are 4 videos I posted for right now, between the two of you at some point. If you guys want to watch those, I mean, you can do it together or separately, whatever you want. Maybe take some notes, and that's what you guys are going to learn.
Sounds good. I'll take some notes and share. You can watch too, but I'll just take notes and share to make it easy.
Very
Sounds
well.
good.
Yeah,
Can
that
we share with other people that
Yeah, I'll
aren't
put it in
there?
the chat.
Yeah, we'll make sure
Fucking
to
nice.
have a good group chat and debrief.
yes. The only thing is that as nobody has the keen mind feat, the only one who's going to be able to recall that almost expertly is going to be Richter. Everybody else, you'll be able to do rolls, and I'll be like, yeah, you can be like, do I remember this? And I'll be like, give me a roll, and then, depending on your roll, you will or will not remember it.
Cool.
So, I mean, one way we can do this, one of the players in my Thursday night game, he actually has basically a Google document he uses and has given the entire group access to it so that they can make notes, for the game. Although I think he's the only one that uses it, and nobody else really pays attention to it. But you guys can always do that so that you guys can put, information in about the undead or whatever, and kind of all edit it, whatever have you, if you guys feel like it. It's one way you can do it. But yeah, that is what you were able to find in the first day.
Got it.
However, Richter, do remember that use this feature, you can't use it again to research the same subject in the same library. Okay.
Probably fine.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are spending, I'm guessing, Sulameen's spending the rest of the day there, so I'm guessing you are too, Richter?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, it's pretty busted, dude.
It is. But that is,
It's my background.
yeah. And that's one straight out of the fucking player's handbook, too. It's not even like something new that, was... I mean, that's original
I'm a
OC
bookworm,
content.
motherfucker.
Throws on his fucking Kanye shades, like, Thug Life, motherfucker. Making a rap video in the library.
Book life.
So that's how the two of you are spending your day. Pheonix, you were, since you were AFK, I just said you were in the room while Wabu did his spell, which, although did succeed, currently there is a tiefling body laying on the slab instead of a human. You were there when Bethany came and Wabu came out of the spell, and Bethany started scribbling something down, which you learned was Jimmy's soup recipe. And she has gone off with Ash to the kitchen to begin cooking, and so she can take stuff out to the people helping rebuild the city. Spoonbreaker left before the ritual started to go find a bar. After it was over, Sulameen left before the ritual to go to the library. Richter went and joined him afterwards. So, Wabu and Pheonix, now that the ritual is over, what would the two of you like to do with your day?
Wabu probably just continue helping out the townsfolk. I mean, that's gonna be an endless supply, right? So I don't have anything specific, so I'll just keep helping them out till we go, probably.
Yeah, same.
There wasn't something else you wanted to do? Oh, that's right. It's Richter that's got the spell scroll.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The two of you continue. You two of you head out. You want to continue helping out the west, or you want to do the east side?
We've been helping out the west the last couple days, right? Basically.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go help out the east then, just to kind of spread the love.
Yeah, same.
All right. Two of you head out. Do you want to walk it, or do you want to take your griffins out?
No, I'll just walk.
Yeah.
I'll take my griffin out for a flight later in
Sure.
the evening.
How did I put it so you can get there? Oh, shit. That's right. Okay. Oh, yep, there's no way. Okay. So, oh, right there. Duh. There's a gate entry there. I was like, fuck, you only get into that side through the mines too? Like, no. Here's a gate entry. So, yeah. You guys head off in that direction, and you guys notice a second statue being built. This one looks like it's about 130 feet instead of the 100 feet of the other monument. Same kind of thing though. Dwarves are building it. At this point, it is probably up to about, the midsection, just a little bit above the belt, and they're chiseling away. Same kind of thing though. There are four obelisks, kind of on the corners of it, and on the back side of the obelisk, scaffolding, people, chiseling stuff into it. And this area is, there's a lot more houses that are gone, due to a tsunami wave, but they're in better spirits. As you look around, you do notice that, thanks to that particular spell, it seems to have saved many of the people that live on this side. So, although there's a lot more work to do, the people here are in better spirits than the west side, as a good portion of their friends and family are still kicking. Pretty much most of the houses are in this general area are gone, but you do notice that this should actually be here. It's going right over top of the over top where the hole was. But yeah, so this area is pretty decent. I mean, you guys spend a good portion of your day, and you guys just helping build it up, or is there any role play you want to do with that, or just I'm helping out?
No, just generic helping out. I cast, conjure animals at higher levels to have extra animals to pull things and stuff like that.
Yeah, like you summoning some gorillas and shit, things that can lift heavy objects and.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, for Pheonix, same thing as yesterday. Just trying to keep everybody fucking pumped up, keep morale going, telling people how great they're doing. Just spreading love.
All right.
Trying to be a good leader.
Excellent.
That's what I was told to do.
And they are grateful for the help. Knowing Wabu, he didn't give anybody a warning before he started summoning animals. So as these animals appear, it kind of startles people, and then they just kind of walk over to Wabu, like the gorillas and bigger animals like that. And as they realize that the animal-friendly new Stormforged is obviously summoning them, they kind of relax, and everybody gets back to work. The pickaxes are put back into the stone instead of held up in the air like they're about to fight something new. But yeah, throughout the course of the day, you guys get several of the houses rebuilt. You guys notice that the marketplace up here has pretty much been wiped out due to the tsunami. However, a lot of it is starting to come back. Several people are trying to rebuild their stands, and everything seems to be working out really nicely in this area. Let's see. Spoonbreaker, are you heading to Arcane Bob's? Hello? Your mic is lighting up, but no sound.
Oh, I said, yeah, I guess.
Hey, you don't have to. It just said you were going to head over that way eventually, so I'm just asking it.
Well, unfortunately, I know I'm going to have to run into this asshole one way or another.
I mean, like they said, they can always do the shopping for you. You don't want to, but...
Yeah, well, Arcane Bob's got a god complex, so I gotta make him feel good so he finds me my shit.
Alright. So, we're gonna switch maps now. Just in case this time. Spoonbreaker, you may bring yourself out. I'm gonna make a coffee while you bring yourself out.
Sorry. Sorry. I had to throw out some shit. You guys keep telling me not to swing on this dude, and I think you're all weak.
I told you to do it.
Well, you're out, but you're like, I won't be there to black you up. You're just
No,
dead.
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Go for it though. Fight him.
Yeah, I mean, Wabu wasn't getting in the middle of that shit, so.
I know Wabu wasn't getting in that shit. That's expected.
Intelligence is Richter's highest stat.
I think he just called you stupid.
That's fine. I'm a charismatic kind of dude, anyways.
So, you walk in, and you notice that this large blue dragon head on the wall, it doesn't move, but its eyes follow you. This time when you walk in, Arcane Bob is sitting in his chair. He doesn't even look up as you walk in. Yes, Spoonbreaker, what is it?
I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for my behavior earlier, Arcane Bob, and that you didn't deserve that, and it was unwarranted.
He stops writing and he looks up. He kind of just regards you for a moment. And then he nods and he says, "Sit," motioning to one of the chairs in front of him.
Yeah, I'll sit.
He folds his hands in front of him and he says, "I accept your apology, but I do want to make something clear, Moonbreaker. We've known each other for some time. We have had nothing but good deals. I know times lately have been stressful, and I feel like that might be part of what it was about. I do not know why you decided to go the way you did. I am aware that you are powerful, and I'm sure you are aware that I am powerful. But we both want what is best for this world. We both want to get rid of this undead army, no?"
Well, obviously, of course.
So, if we can agree that we'll let this one slide, and you do not treat me with such disrespect again, unless actually warranted, then we can continue to do business.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Says, "So, would you like me to continue looking for that item for you?"
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Very well. Says, "Then I believe I believe you have something for me then, yes?"
Yep. I hand him the bag of 10,000 gold.
Takes it and he puts it in the chest beneath the desk. At which time you hear the usual, sound that signifies that it's disappearing. And he pulls out a piece of paper and he slides it across to you.
What's the paper say?
You pick it up and you take a look at it. I want you to roll me a d20.
I like when you get that deep voice and shit.
D20, baby. Oh, yeah. Good. It's an even. And it's above 10.
Ooh.
I do not have it currently in my possession. However, I believe that is a rough location of where it may be. As you read this piece of paper, there's a... It almost seems like a thread of a map. And in one location, seems to almost be like a flashing light coming from the paper in one spot. Give me a history.
It's a lewd etching of a butthole.
Tentacle porn.
That's where you can find your shit, motherfucker.
You are not sure what exactly area this map
Can
is
I
from.
re-roll with my meta magic sushi point?
Does that work on saves or skill checks?
I think it was ability checks and saves, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Pastel. Haven't seen you in a while. What's with the new name? Welcome in, welcome in. You may. Holy fuck. Yeah, you got no idea what because it doesn't really have a name. It just has images of a map. You know, like you can see some mountains on there on the west side. Looks like possibly on the right and the south there might be water.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said, you're not sure. There's no letters, like words on this chunk of map, but there is looks like water on the south and the east. And you also see what looks to be mountains on the west, kind of stretching almost nearly to the center as mountains stretch north. But seeing your confusion, says, I believe it is somewhere along the southeast coast. Says, unfortunately, that is rather deep to the Undead Army's territory. But I do believe you guys might be heading in that direction anyways. If I remember
You
correctly.
said southeast?
Yes. Now, you have seen this map before, so it said southeast of where you guys are, which right now you guys are up here. Find me a spot that has water on the south and the east, and mountains the west, and stretching slightly northeast. You know, where if you can figure out where it is. So southeast of where you are, southeast is up here. So, or sorry, this is where you are. So southeast.
Oh.
Somewhere where you guys were already heading. Yeah, somewhere in that area. Now, as there is no words or really landmarks beyond mountains and water, you are not 100% sure, but you're pretty sure it's down there somewhere.
Okay.
And just so you don't think me greedy, this gold, not really for a fee of really finding the item. I mean, it is, but I'm not keeping it. As the land that we hold grows smaller and smaller, means there is far less material components available, spellcasters that still fight. This gold goes to them, or to rather helping find more materials for their spells. Now, speaking of which, are there any materials you need? Since you are here and we are on better terms now.
I think I'm good for now,
You hear that?
Arcane
He called
Bob.
you a bitch.
I do appreciate that, though.
Stop
Yeah,
trying to
you
rock
know
the
what,
boat,
Pheonix?
Phoenix.
You ain't gonna back me up, so you can go somewhere else.
You can go somewhere else. What a burn. Says, well, very well. You have the information that I was able to gather, and we're on good terms again. I hope to see you soon, Spoonbreaker.
Yep. Take care, Arcane Bob.
Oh, you missed
Nice
it.
chatting with you.
He pissed off Arcane Bob. He tried to intimidate him. He almost got fucking sent for it. He gives you a nod, like, you know, not a dismissive one, but a you know, pleasure doing business kind of nod.
Yeah, Spoonbreaker takes it.
Yeah, I bet he does.
You know what? I bet you wish he didn't.
Pheonix is just trying to like get you to roll your back up. I think that's what he's doing right now.
It's fine.
Just being a dick.
All right, so
I respect it.
we do have I think everybody except for you, Spoonbreaker, has laid out the rest of the day. Is there anything else you wish to do today?
Party and bullshit and party and bullshit.
Oh, so you're going back to the Citadel to just drink?
I mean, I'm gonna eat, recoup, then drink a little bit, maybe.
Okay. Very well. So, you guys finish out the rest of your day. Spoonbreaker, how much you drinking?
Spoonbreaker's trying to get lit.
Enough to kick your ass.
Enough to break some spoons.
All right. So, everybody takes care of their shit for the rest of the day. Spoonbreaker hits 9 o'clock. Actually, are you guys gonna meet for dinner, or are you guys just gonna do whatever, finish your day, and then we'll move on to the next day?
I mean, I was gonna take my Griffin for an evening flight. We don't have to RP it, but I'll come back for dinner before that. Kind of see everybody and then head out for a Griffin ride.
Thanks for that. Yeah, sure. What about the rest of you?
I'll join for dinner.
All right.
Richter will probably be too busy outside of a snack reading.
All right. Wabu.
Nerd.
Nerd.
So when I was helping everybody else out, I did make it back in time for dinner, or no?
That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll come back just for dinner because I want to see how everyone had progressed and be updated on anything that's going.
Sure. You guys can share what you did throughout the day. I mean, if Richter and Sulameen, I guess Richter's just fucking grabbing a snack and going.
Yeah, I come in and load up on food, chat for 10 minutes, bid everyone adieu.
Okay.
Take off with a biscuit in his mouth.
Sulameen and
Go, thanks, bye.
Sulameen and Richter, do you guys like share any of your findings so far?
All that I can.
Yeah.
Everything I remember.
Okay.
And Richter says he's in the middle of reading about undead and maybe has some thoughts of how we can bring the heat next time we fight them and the advantages.
All right. Very nice.
Bring the heat.
Give me.
You don't know how to cast Fireball at your level?
I'm thinking fireball plus maybe some other things. We got to do some experimenting, Pheonix.
Sure. So with that, you guys continue doing what you want for the evening. Is there anything other than what you were already working on? I mean, Richter and Sulameen, with your amount, I'm going to say that Julian, you probably went back to the library to continue helping, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Spoonbreaker during dinner is give me con save, Spoonbreaker.
The fuck am I con saving?
These nuts.
You're con saving. You know what? You can definitely tell he's a little tipsy, but he's holding it pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Getting party and lit and bullshit and lit and party. Like, yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah, I forgot.
Heck yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude, you only live once, right?
so, yeah, you guys continue what you're doing for the rest of the day. You have one more free day before the funeral, I believe. Is that correct? It was yesterday he was going to do the funeral. He said 3 days, so one. Yeah, so you guys got one more free day to do what you want.
Dualia, perhaps?
I mean, yeah, we'll have to do that whenever Richter's available.
Yep,
Sure,
he's
sure.
free. Learned everything I could at the library, so this day we can do that. Start. Sounds good.
Wabu will join because he likes anything that's magic related.
Ever talked to a dead person before, Wabu?
Oh no, that sounds cool. I can only bring them back. I can't talk to them.
This will
Well,
be a
it's a good day for you then.
Wabu
This'll-
like nods. He's super happy. He's kind of bouncing around now, clapping his hands.
Wabu,
this
you
will
should
be a
let
first for
Richter
me
ask the
too.
questions. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. This will be a first for me too, as he's Richter's kind of preparing the spell scroll as they walk towards the place.
Wabu shouldn't ask questions.
Richter should ask questions.
Richter asks questions.
We
Well,
should make sure we
Wabu,
know
you see,
questions.
Okay.
you see, we only get 5 questions. So we don't want to ask any careless questions that don't help, you know?
Wabu's trying to count 5 on his hand, but because he doesn't have 5 fingers, he has to go to his other hand.
There's specific, very important questions that we have to ask, is basically what we're trying to say.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is
And he's
like the
kinda
next
sad.
morning after the long rest, right? You guys talking about this?
Yeah, breakfast.
Okay. So as DM, I'm going to say, do you guys want to discuss what questions want to hear answers to before you guys actually get down there and start casting the spell?
I think that would be a very good idea.
Yeah. Pheonix, you said we only get 5 questions. I've never done this spell before. We should definitely ask if she has any living associates left.
And
well,
do they have to answer truthfully?
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. What's the like
I
exact ruling on the spell?
believe. I mean, you could look up the spell in the compendium, but if I remember correctly, they can't lie, but they can choose not to answer.
I think it's just like a zone of truth.
I think basically.
Yeah, because zone of truth, they'll take psychic damage. I think if they lie, but it's obvious that they're lying, and they have to make a save against it. However, if they can choose not to answer a question in zone of truth. I think it kind of works the same way, except without the damage. They just don't answer if they don't want to.
So the corpse is under no compulsion to offer truthful answer if you are a hostile to it or it recognizes you as an enemy.
Okay. Well, that answers that question.
Yeah. So maybe somebody unrelated asks it the questions.
Yeah, maybe somebody that Richter or didn't look at Richter and go fucking freeze, bitch, before she dropped him from like fucking 50 feet up.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could disguise ourselves.
Ooh, a magic disguise. That's a good idea.
Or enlist Bob. Either way.
I do have disguise self. If you would allow it to be prepped, it's not prepped.
I mean, realistically, if we have the 5 questions on parchment or whatever, we can give them to anybody to ask, and then just do like if anybody has like a way to cast us all invisible, we can just
So
hang out invisible in the room and listen to the answers.
here's the thing. I'm reading the spell, right? You grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse of your choice within range, allowing it to answer the questions you pose.
So we'd have to have Bob cast the spell if he did it, or we'd have to disguise somebody to cast it.
Yes. Also, Richter, are you copying this into your spell book? Or are you just going to burn the scroll?
I wanted to, but there hasn't been time.
How long does it take? What level is this? It's a level 2, isn't it?
3rd level spell, so I think it takes 3 hours. If I had time, I would really like to copy it in, but
If we got time, the dead aren't going anywhere.
yeah, true. If we wait till noon, I would have time to do it.
And is there like some sort of spell that he can disguise himself in his voice?
Does somebody besides Richter have what is Speak with Dead? Is it concentration? Oh, disguise self is not concentration. Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and apparently Speak with Dead is not. It just has a duration on it.
Does our rogue have a disguise kit?
Oh, that would require planning. Probably not.
I mean, it would have been when you made your character. Just like check the
Yeah,
top shit on your inventory. Because
No, I don't have one.
Okay.
Likely, we would have been discussing this plan and like I could have prepared disguise self, but
Yeah,
this is not
I would allow
prepared
that.
in this moment. Yeah. So yeah, I can use the spell disguise self.
Well, it's excellent. Sounds like we got a plan.
All right,
We
so
just need questions.
yeah, now what questions y'all want answered? I mean, throw them out there, and I mean the group can discuss it.
Should we lead with a good question, like is there any unfinished business you would like us to help you with?
Nah, fuck her.
But that might, who knows, it might be some juice. She's into some good shit. Never know what she might spill.
I mean, keep in mind answers are usually brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
True, they could just say yes.
So we probably want to keep it to things that don't require them to articulate too much.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
mostly looking for yes and no questions,
Who the
basically.
fuck was that? Was
Yeah.
that Wabu?
This is player to player to player conversation.
I'm just joking.
Wabu's very simple on that way.
I'm also going to say that Richter, although you've never cast a spell before, the fact you have, you've been working on it and like looking it over, you would understand how it works. So you are going to be well aware that when you ask a question, you're going to want to be specific.
Yeah, we're gonna want to be specific, yes or no questions. Yeah, let's think about what we want to say. I'm thinking I can disguise myself as one of the Thieves Guild people. Do we recognize anyone? Have any details, Sulameen? One of just like a random Thieves Guild person. We can say that we found her. She was killed. We have this moment in time, really brief to talk with her. Can we get these 5 questions? So yeah, any details of how to disguise myself, we should do that. And then yeah, I don't really know what to ask.
I mean, that depends on whether or not she believes the disguise. 'Cause if you're asking as like one of her associates, that kind of opens up more doors. But also, we have to be more careful because, if you ask the wrong thing, she's gonna be like, you're not who you say you are,
I
Let's
like
ask her if
this.
she'd accept a resurrection.
They're thinking. I love this.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, so that's one of your questions you want to ask is, will she accept a
That's fine.
resurrection?
That's probably the last question. Is there more like gold down there that we didn't get? She wouldn't know that.
No, she wouldn't know.
Where's your next attack plant?
Yeah. Next big move.
Okay.
Where's your headquarters?
I think we need to ask that in a better way because that sounds super obvious personally.
It's like one of those like, hey boss, what's the plan? type thing.
Right.
But not like that. You know what I mean?
Do
Yeah,
you
no.
have
Right.
do you have any reserve forces that weren't defeated in the battle?
Yes.
Like,
She's
you know what I
absolutely
mean?
going to, though. They're not going to burn their entire army out in one place.
Well, no, but I'm talking about like her forces.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Under her command.
Like, is there another fucking like regiment sitting outside the wall somewhere waiting?
Yeah.
Well, there'd still be
signal.
forces because we actually capped off the tunnels while the forces were still coming.
I say my idea on that is that we disguise ourselves as like a lowly member of the Thieves Guild, like just a bar patron who survived the attack, and say like looking to connect up with more troops. Where can I find them? Did anyone survive? So, did anyone survive, and where can we find them?
I like that.
So that is 2 questions to be
I
aware.
was just gonna say that.
Yeah, who reserve forces not defeated, and where can we find them?
Okay, so that's 2 separate questions.
Yes.
I'm only
Let you know
asking
where to
because
find
I need to figure out like how I'm going to answer these, right?
Yeah, I would say that's 2 separate questions, eh?
So reserve forces under her command. That's 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And where can we find them? Or meet up with them?
That also means we need a 6th question because if her answer to reserve question or reserve forces is no, then the 2nd question is not valid.
Okay,
Oh,
back
that's a
to
good
question.
point.
And we might want to rephrase to where were they last, because I don't know if she knows where they are now. Reserve force, that is.
Yeah, where can we find them might be broad enough. Can you give us that info?
Okay, so one of your questions is going to be, do you have reserve forces?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, eh? Like they're not defeated. Do you have reserve forces? And that'll prompt the next question of where can we find them?
Okay, so we'll go 3A. Give me a sec.
Should we ask like a trick question, like how did this happen, or who's responsible?
Too vague.
Like how could have this happened to you? Shockingly.
Oh, so you're asking about like how she died?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a waste of a question, but it might help convince.
Well, I don't know, like, or I guess Savage, like, how much are they aware of it, or is it just more some semblance of life, and you just have to not be hostile towards them? I don't know if the spell really said.
It
Either way.
is kind of a resemblance of life.
Okay.
So, you know how to do the resurrection spell, but you're aware that once you start casting the spell, that it will take time to do it. However, whether your disguised self will carry over or not, you don't know. You might end up fucking,
Mhm.
Wabu might end up looking like Wabu, even, and trying to convince her to come back. She'd be like, fucking no?
Yeah, totally. But I was talking more so for the speak with dead portion. Is it more like as long as we look the part and are talking in a nice tone, they'll answer pretty openly, like, or are they actually like full memory? Does that make sense?
That one.
Because I don't know exactly how that spell works. I've never used it, or
I'm gonna say, Richter, as he's asking this, give me an Arcana. You believe that this is kind of a toss-up. You believe that the disguised self will fool her, but given the fact that she is, kind of maybe a general or some high rank in this army, and the fact she, ran the Assassin's Guild here, she is going to be extremely suspicious, even in her what's the word? Wabu, you just used it. Semblance of life.
Yeah.
So basically what you're gathering, Richter, is nothing is guaranteed, nothing is set in stone. It's basically a chance.
She's no spring chicken in life or death. It'll be interesting to see how this goes. Should we just go for it and just ask where Sad's Tam is? Or is that already kind of where we can find them? Just leave it to the troops.
I mean, we also have the option of just like ramping up the questions until there's a question where she might just say no type deal, and save that question for the last part.
Mm-hmm. That's our backup question.
Yeah, like if we go through all other 4 questions, because the reincarnation question's nice, but I don't think it's like 100% important. Sorry, not to talk out of game too much, but
No, this is this is gonna basically be both table speak and like PC speak.
yeah, because like
So,
Wabu
like,
won't
yeah.
have much input not in game speak, because he'll just kind of go with the group. But
Should we ask if there's any undercover agents outside of like big troops? Like, who's the undercover contact I can connect with? Try to
yeah, that's
expose
not a bad
one.
idea.
Okay, so you're asking about undercover.
Yeah, like, kind of like, hey, yeah, that's great to know where the big forces are, but I'm still in the city. Who's my undercover contact that I can reach out to and get the information from? That's long-winded. So, like, who's the undercover person we can reach out to get the ball rolling? Trying to expose someone.
Okay. Okay, I'm digging it. So right now I do have 4 questions total written down. One is based on her answer to one of the others, though. So right now I've got accept res, reserve forces / where are the reserve forces, and an undercover contact. So you still have
And
one
location of the undercover contact. So it's gonna be a 2-part. That's gonna be 2 questions.
And I think Wabu raises a good point on the resurrection. Once she realizes it's us, she's probably going to tell us to go fuck ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's like a throwaway question. If things go the wrong line, it's the last question we ask, and if we don't have room for it, who cares? If
Yeah.
that's okay with everybody else.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah, same.
We could also get bold and be like, hey, if she flat out calls us out and say, we want to go fight Saztan, where can we find him? Just to just to see if she's bold enough to give us the location, knowing that it'd be a fight.
Pass her, I'd send you to an ambush.
She can't share the information, so it's kind of one-ended.
Okay.
Here, send you to the largest force.
So reserve forces / location, undercover contact, and are you going with the location of undercover contact, or are we skipping that one?
Yeah, I think we want the location of the undercover contact as well.
Hell yeah, let's go. Ask her if she wants to build a snowman.
Do you want to do some cocaine?
Exactly.
All right. So we have 2 questions for sure, and depending on her answers to those 2 questions, that leads to 2 other questions. So we have a guaranteed 1 more question left.
Where do babies come from? We need to know.
How did Pheonix's elbow taste?
Probably furry. and liquor sweat. So yeah, you guys have 2 guaranteed questions with 2 possible follow-ups. You got 1 guaranteed left. If you don't like the 2 questions, if you don't want to use the location questions because you didn't like her first answer, that will leave you with 3 open slots for questions. Reserve forces and possible location, if you want to use the second one. Undercover contact, possible location, if you like your answer to the first one. And then anything else you guys can think of like right now to ask. It's a good idea to have some backup questions in case you don't like those. In case she doesn't say anything about the reserve forces, you might not want to.
Do we know where the main stronghold for the undead army is? Is that knowledge? Like I wasn't here for.
No, it is not.
Before us. So that's a potential question, depending on how bold we get right near the end. Because that would probably save us a lot of effort.
Okay, so
What was
I
that
like
one?
that.
Like, where's the where's the headquarters for the army, right?
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
Like, throw it at the end. It's a risky one, but who knows?
Yeah, because even if she sees this as a ruse, it might be like, okay, go die.
That's true. She may just be that ballsy. That's valid.
Yeah.
fine. Well, so if you guys end up not asking about the location, then you still have 2 alternative slots left. Right
One
now,
of them is where it's Saztan.
right, where is Saztan?
I think specifically, just so it's kind of similar to the last question, see if we can get some really good info. Is I think a thought there. That's what we were thinking.
Yep, I'm on board with it.
Okay, and that means you got 1 other possible slot left.
The question I have written down is, would you accept a res as a possible, but do we have a better one than that?
I think that one's already on the list.
No, it was taken off because everybody didn't like that one. But I mean, I can put it back on the list if you guys got nothing else you can think of.
How
Did
do
we
you
add,
feel about
is one of our
necrophilia?
was one of the questions where's the next place planned of attack? Like as in like where the next target location?
That one you want to add to the list?
That's a good question.
I'm all for it. It's just what everybody, if everyone else is okay with it.
Yeah, that's a different question than just where the troops are, so I think that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not expecting her to give it all to us anyway. So
Now that you guys have your questions, would you guys like to formulate exactly how you're going to ask them? Like the wording? Or would you just like to fucking send it and see what happens?
Monkey paw time.
If you'd like, you can, type it out in chat, your exact wording, and talk to amongst each other to see if that's the wording you want to use. Or you guys can send it and hopefully Richter says the right thing.
I have faith in Richter.
Same.
I do as well.
Oh God.
Yep.
Same.
Have fun.
I guess we're sending it.
Have fun.
All right. Well, Richter, do you have your questions written down, or would you like me to put them in chat?
I have them written down, but give me a minute here to read them over. And then I'm gonna use disguise self on myself. Sulameen, or from the time I was there, do we remember kind of a good look for this?
So there was a female cleric in the first bar fight. I seem to recall her being a dwarf.
Indeed. Cleric of the Brew.
But I don't remember beard, no beard, skin color, hair color.
Maybe not specific to that person, but just the attire of the group. Would think that'd be a good idea. Did Richter see anybody that he could remember? Even one of the people he fought?
Most of the people look like just regular generics, although they're and none of them really had much in the way of colors, since colors kind of give away who you are, and it's an Assassin's Guild. Kind of don't want to be advertising. But Sulameen,
Yes.
you remember a few people, as you had been interacting with a few of them before the whole fight broke out. You had interacted with the bartender, who was the dwarven cleric of the brew. You also interacted with a drunken man who had left you the poison in the first place.
Which I still have.
Sorry, what?
Which I still have because no one's taken it away in game.
Sorry, you're
Unless
kind
the
of
king.
crackling.
Oh, sorry, which I still have because no one's taken it away in game.
Exactly.
Business side.
So there was
Sulameen
also
would describe.
there was also one
Go
other person that was down in the basement. I believe the bartender went down with you, and Dualia was speaking to someone else. And as you're thinking about this, you don't remember seeing that particular person during any of the combat. Now, maybe they had fallen in one of the battles above ground, but you didn't see that person when you guys went back and the fight broke out in the Assassin's Guild Tavern.
Would Richter have seen them?
No, and you were the only person that had seen this person.
Well then I would do my best as Sulameen to describe them. As John Henry, I have no fucking clue what they look like.
That's fine, because neither do I, so I'm gonna make something up.
And I'm gonna wear a
Oh.
cloak over my face, like kind of a deep cloak, so that I am disguised, but also disguised.
Okay, give me one moment. I just realized I'm starting to get cold. I think I forgot to turn my heater back on when my fucking power went out.
Gonna overload the grid.
Okay.
No, the coffee maker's off now. This should be fine. If it's not, I'm gonna be real fucking pissed.
But yeah, Richter's ready. He'll.
Sorry, I'm just making my coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are ready, Richter?
Yeah, gonna cast disguise self on myself. I think from the descriptions we had, the most generic one was probably the dwarf, Sulameen, or is there a more generic one I can use?
So,
The one
Right.
Sulameen knew, like the dwarf was in the combat. But Sulameen does remember a description of another one that he had met there before, along with Dualia, but was not there during the actual combat you all had.
That random guy the first time. So I'm going to do my best to really listen to him and like take the time to think about what he had told me and cast a disguise self on myself. And I'm also going to wear a kind of a dark cloak to wear as I'm disguised to add a little bit extra kind of shade to myself. And when I come in to do the spell, I'm kind of going to be under the guise that I'm there talking with her quickly. So like I'm kind of disguising myself, not from her, but from anyone else who might be looking or me inside this place.
Okay.
Rogan it up.
So,
what would you think about the question, where would you like us to take your body for burial?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a bonus. I don't know. Fuck it.
That could be better than where's Saztam, because we're already asking where the undead stronghold is.
It's true.
Do we want to ask that instead of where's Saztam? Just like straight up at the end, we're gonna offer to bury her anyways.
Yeah.
She doesn't know.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
It's a better chance of survival on that one, I think.
Yeah, and then even if the ruse is up at that point, we can say that.
Yeah.
And then I guess, are you all within earshot hiding somewhere, or am I alone 100%?
I think you're gonna. Well, for me, I'll make sure I'm not even close to the room because I'm kind of clumsy. So, rip on a pot in another room.
yeah, it trips right into the fucking room.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But stuck
So
in a
I'll
pot,
be
banging away.
far away.
And as for everybody else,
If there was a curtain in the room, I'd probably be hiding behind it.
I do have. Yeah,
I can
greater
wait outside either way.
invisibility. if anyone wants it. I could throw a couple of these down if anyone wants it. You could still hide.
Well, the curtain would probably take care of it. I don't know if you
Enough.
could see through it. That's a good question. Sure, what the hell? I'll take it if you're okay with it.
I cast this on you and say, still keep out of sight, even with the spell.
Got it. Thank you.
Alright. So, Spoonbreaker, are you staying away with Wabu?
Yeah.
And I figure Pheonix probably will too. He's AFK at the moment, so...
What happened?
So they're about ready to go down and do this spell. Wabu and Spoonbreaker are staying away from the room, so they don't blow anything. Sulameen is using a potion, Richter is going to give him a greater invisibility spell, so that he can be in the room, but silent. Do you want to be in the room, in some way, shape, or form? You want to hide outside the room? What do you want to do? Or you want to just be nowhere near it?
Yeah, I'll stand like outside the room and see if I can just listen.
Outside the room? Sorry, I missed that. I was
Yeah.
coughing. Okay.
Yeah, see if I can listen in.
Okay. So Spoonbreaker and Wabu, as they go down to do this, what are the two of you doing? Are you just like hanging out, Citadel, or what?
I'll be outside of the room, but I don't want to be inside of the room.
Gonna be outside of the
I'll
room.
I'll hang out the Citadel so I can't fuck things up.
So you're gonna hang outside of the room, huh?
Nobody can cast us all invisible.
There is no like AoE invisible.
I have enough spell slots to cast this for everybody. It's a 3rd level spell, and
But
I
it's
have full-
concentration.
It's concentration now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no worries then. It's not worth burning potions on or anything, and I don't even think we have any invisibility potions, so.
Okay. And
And realistically, he can just tell us what happened afterwards. So
Yeah, sorry. Well, that's what I mean by it's not worth burning, potions on. We could just find out after. I'll try to listen in, but otherwise I'll just find out after.
as you guys make your way down to the area, you get down to the morgue, and basically there's a large room, about 30 by 30. There are stone slabs, and there are multiple bodies on them, all covered with blanket. But as a couple of the workers look at you, Stormforged, can I help you?
I'm going to need everyone out. This is official Stormforge business.
But we have to prep these bodies for the funeral tomorrow.
You can continue your work shortly. This is very important work. Please, if you wouldn't mind.
Very well, but can I ask what it is you need down here?
I just need the keys to the cells.
Sorry, the cells.
Or the morgue. The location of all the bodies in the morgue.
Well, you tell me who you're looking for, and I'll tell you where they are.
I'll take care of that myself. Just give me the list, please.
Very well. Please don't lose it. Try not to move the bodies
course.
around. We don't want to mix up bodies, of course.
That's understandable. I'll get you when I'm ready.
This elf hands you the list, and everybody, clear the room. Everybody out. How do we have to get out of the whole area, or?
No, just move far away. You can continue working as long as you're out of this general area.
And he looks around the room and he says, I see. How long do you need?
I won't need too long. Maybe 20 minutes.
Everybody, take your lunch. Come back in an hour. And they all kind of seem surprised, and a few of them are like, hell yeah, a whole hour? Let's go. And everybody leaves. You have the list in your hand, and the elf leaves as well. So,
I take a look and I try to match toe tags up to find Dwalia.
you do realize that none of the ones on these slabs are actually Walia. However, as you look through the very, very long list, I'm going to say it's going to take you like 10 minutes to actually find it. The list of like 9,000 people, right? You do find where the body is being stored.
Yeah, so I go right to it.
Yeah, you're a little confused as, you know, there's spots on the slabs, but then there's like, you know, this person's been shipped off to the funeral, yada, yada, yada. You finally find hers, and it just says, bag in corner. You look around the room, and you literally find a burlap sack in the corner. So you pull this you pull this body, try and pull it out of the burlap sack, and it's been a few days. Rigor mortis has set in. It's starting to rot. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Where are you placing it?
I just kind of pull it out and I place her against the wall leaning if I can. If it's too stiff, I just put her straight on the ground.
Sure. You begin, or Sulameen kind of describes this person to you as get ready to do the guy's self.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take? Just an action, right? Yep.
Yeah, one action.
As he describes it to you, you kind of like start to picture this person in your mind. Sulameen,
Yes.
you are going to do a skill check. It is your choice of the following: a performance to describe this person in high detail, or an advantage, I'm going to say a history at advantage, or yeah, I think it's one of those two. Your choice.
Okay. Give me 1 second then. Actually, to look at my magic weapon or gear. Trying to find the boots of dancing.
I believe those were persuasion, or just like any charisma, which neither of these are charisma. Oh yeah, performances.
Yeah.
Okay.
Advantage on all charisma ability checks.
Okay.
I'll go with performance.
Okay, an 18, that's pretty solid. You do your best to describe this person, even to the point of kind of drawing a little bit of it outside the room, just kind of like etching it into the wall with a piece of charcoal. And Richter, you listen and you look at this. You think, okay, I think I can do this. You begin to cast your disguise self. And you look at what he has become. It looks pretty damn good.
Will this do?
Good to go.
Excellent. And I cast Greater Invisibility on Sulameen.
Okay. Now, I believe it was Spoonbreaker and Pheonix who are going to be waiting outside the room, yes?
Yep.
Give me stealth from both of you, please. kind of armor are you wearing, Spoonbreaker? Damn, Pheonix.
They did both mention that they wouldn't be that close, though.
Just outside the room. So Pheonix, even with that, he might be all right. But the problem is Spoonbreaker's armor, I think.
Can I use my meta magic sorcery point again?
If you'd like to, yeah. Rolls a -1. You feel like you are being kind of stealthy. However, you realize that any slight movement, even breathing, your armor is... what kind of armor is it, again, that you're wearing?
It is mithril plate armor +2.
Mithril plate. Okay. So you
No,
don't
it's
have...
something.
So you don't have disadvantage because of the mithril. However, it is still not overly quiet. You are aware that, just breathing can make the armor, as it shifts, kind of screech a little bit.
So should I get naked?
I mean, if you want to.
Will that make me stealthy?
I mean, it's not going to give you a better stealth roll, but I mean, you're definitely gonna. You know what? I'll tell you what. Because during the time this is happening, Pheonix and Spoonbreaker, you guys being outside the room, you will have to continue to roll stealth a couple times.
Yeah, so if I'm naked,
I'm gonna say that means your your stealth isn't going to be any better. However, it's at least your armor will not be screeching with every breath, kind of thing. That makes sense? What I mean?
Well, then that makes me not want to be here anymore.
I mean, that's fair enough. You can always, go another room or two away, and you won't really have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a room away and look at Pheonix and tell him to telepathically call out if we need backup.
Yeah, as you're walking away, you can hear the armor screech with every step.
You're such an asshole.
I mean, it's plate armor. I don't know if you've ever seen plate armor. That shit is not quiet. Even with mithril, mithril basically makes it so it's not as screechy, but it's still not silent like leather would be.
Make you screech.
Oh yeah, Daddy. But yeah, you cast Greater Invisibility, Richter, on Sulameen.
Yep. And then I pull my cloak hood over my head a little bit, and I cast. Wait like 20 seconds or so, just to give everyone some time to do what they need to do, and then I cast Speak with the Dead with a spell scroll.
Sure. First, Sulameen, as he casts invisibility on you, are you just standing in the middle of the room, or what do you want to do?
I will stand behind something opaque.
Okay. So as you do so, I'm going to give you stealth at advantage because you're invisibility. Fuck. Okay. Richter, you don't even hear Sulameen move. You think he's pretty much still standing where you cast it.
Yep, I turned my focus to Dwalia.
Alright. And you begin to cast Speak with Dead. Her head was kind of down towards the chest, but as you do this, you can hear the bones cracking as she starts to raise her head, and it almost looks like it's taking effort, but her eyes kind of open and they're green, and her jaw goes a little slack. And she just kind of It's almost like she's floating, although she's not floating. But you know, she's kind of shifting back and forth a little bit. Her head as she kind of like turns and looks at you.
Ghouls are on their lunch break. We don't have long. Our time is short. Were there any reserve forces not defeated in the battle?
All right, give me one moment. Richter, roll me a d6, please. Okay, and does disguise self change your voice? Nothing. Better hair if you fell. Bumping you. Okay, just. So it doesn't have an action. Doesn't say.
No, I don't.
Armor, weapons on your person look different until the end of your. Or end of your. Okay. Doesn't say if it changes your voice.
No, I'm just gonna use like a really raspy Batman voice.
You know what? It does. Oh, it doesn't actually. It's not shape shifting. It's just. Give me a. Oof. Yep.
I'll give you a performance.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh. She remains silent. Actually, no. She doesn't. Yes. Uh-oh, did we just lose Richter? He just disappeared from the game.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there he goes from Discord. Oh, no!
It's a hell of a stealth roll.
Oh, he's back in game. If he gets back in Discord.
Back.
There he is.
Hey, sorry, Discord crashed.
So she answered your question.
So she responded. All her was. And that's it.
Yes.
Where can we find them? I need to meet up with them. No response.
I'm thinking. Damn, I was hoping you were gonna pass that check too. God damn. She's going to say beware.
What?
She said everywhere.
Princess, we don't have much time. Who's the undercover contact in the city? I need to meet with them.
What was the Baron's right-hand man?
Phineas?
No, that was the wrong name. Delatus.
Delatus.
Delatus. That's 3 questions.
Where is the main stronghold? Where is the main undead stronghold, Princess?
Give me an insight check. you're pretty sure that that was a laugh. Start to believe that she doesn't believe that you are who you're acting as. That is 4 questions.
With that insight check, I'm fairly sure the gig is up.
Yeah.
With that, then, I'm not going to ask, just player to players, I'm not going to ask the last question of where's the attack, because that kind of get the same response.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask where we can bury her. So Richter's going to kind of pull the cloak back a little bit more and just say, Princess, and stop disguising any attempt at his voice, and just say, Princess, your time has ended. Where can we lay you to rest? Where, yeah.
I'm already. Oh. And with that, the green light in the eyes fades as her head slowly kind of clicks back to where it was when the spell started. And the jaw clicks upwards as it closes into the exact same position she was when started the spell.
Yeah, Richter is just going to immediately drop this guy's self and turn on his heel, because he still learned some pretty important information. He's not going to even touch Dawalia, and he's going to kind of call out to Sulameen that we got to go.
Sulameen will say, lead on.
I said, did you hear that? It didn't get much out of her, but there was one piece of information, and I share a name. Delatus. We should speak with them.
Do you think she was telling the truth?
Only one way to find out.
Fair
Join
point,
us next session when they torture Delatus.
right?
Holy fuck.
Zone of truth.
Oh man. But it is 11:30. So I think with that, I'll say you guys are able to meet up with each other. And then that is where we are going to end the session for today.
Yeah. What I say to them when I come up is, I couldn't get much out of him, but the bitch had one name to share, and I share it.
So would we be able to, and I apologize for asking if we can roll something, but would you have any insight as to whether or not she was telling the truth when she said Delatus?
You know what? I will allow you, Sulameen, to also give me an insight on that whole exchange. The voice Richter was doing did not sound very much like the person that you had met. And given the fact that it when she laughed kind of tells you that she is well aware that that is not who was speaking with her. So she might have been telling the truth. She might have been lying. But with the 25, you're pretty sure you can take anything she said with a grain of fucking salt.
I thought she wasn't allowed to lie during the spell.
No, that's the zone of truth. She doesn't not have to be truthful during.
Yeah, like when
Speak
she
with
thinks
Dead.
you're hostile, she can say whatever she wants, basically.
Yeah, and so what that D6 was that I had you roll, Richter, is I rolled an insight for her, but the D6 that you rolled was to subtract, since she is more of a semblance of life rather than life itself. So Unfortunately, you only rolled a 1, so her insight came back at 15 instead of 16. So I was really hoping, like, you know, you'd be able to roll decently on that performance, but that's what that was about. So, because she was aware that you are not the person that you were acting as, and again, because she was a suspicious person as the head of a assassination guild, she was pretty well aware that she didn't know for sure it was you, but she knew that it was basically enemies trying to get information.
Yeah, but at the end, though.
What about the end?
Yeah, like, she realized at the end, but
No,
not...
that was at the start, during his first question. Yeah, that's when that first roll was.
I see.
Yeah. But, I mean, it wasn't obvious that she didn't believe him until she started laughing.
Yeah.
So, Sulameen, you're aware that, I mean, you can formulate whichever thought you want on that, but you're aware that you can probably take whatever she said with a grain of salt.
Let's fucking kill Delatus just to be sure.
Oh my god.
It's warranted a zone of truth at least.
Well, you know, we could kill him and then do talk with dead.
Oh my god!
There you go.
Just kidding. So I'll share that my insight with Richter and say, you know, I get the feeling she wasn't being candid. I think we should approach this carefully and not necessarily either outright accuse a lot of it, and certainly not rough him up over it.
You might be right. I should have studied acting more.
I don't know if I were smarter, I'd have given you the boots and ring that didn't require attunement. I didn't see the performance roll coming, player to player.
The way she goes.
Away she goes.
Well, gentlemen, I thank you all for coming. I'm going to outro the stream for now, and I will be back in just a moment.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen who have joined me this evening, thank you very much. I see that after I came back from my breaker popping, that I did have some people come back, and I'm glad you did. So, we do have our Baldur's Gate 3 game tomorrow. It's a 4-player game. We're in Act 3. We are not doing it on the hardest difficulty. We might possibly do another run-through afterwards. I don't know. We'll find out. But after that, I have a lot of D&D this month. So, on Thursday when I come back, there will be another Shadow of Dragon Queen. Saturday, there's another Lost Mines and the Mad Mage. But Friday is actually, we have the Age of Heroes, where I'm playing a Harengon Wildfire Druid, who is in the middle of a moral dilemma moment, having accidentally killed 15,000 people with his friends, as he was trying to save a land from a bunch of undead. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So, I hope to see you guys there. And remember, everybody, Savage, go home. Beastus.